fabric is now in stock, so my floors are being redone today.
Woo!
So supply's back. And the car that I purchased is suddenly miraculously arrived in the UAE 30 days ahead of schedule, and can I go and pick it up?
Are you some kind of proxy for
demand.
supply chains?
Yes, but it does seem to be, can you please come and pick it up? Can we please come and do your floors?
People can't keep stuff in storage. Storage is full.
Storage is full.
Because if stuff's not going out, it's being stored.
And just the wheels need to turn.
And people don't get paid until they seal your floors, assumably? Consumably? Both consumably and assumably.
Exactly. And to move the dogs out, otherwise they would be stuck to said floors. So
modern art.
No one wants to see that.
Mr. Reynolds, most interesting, surprising, astonishing, or disappointing thing about your week?
Well, actually, since we're going to talk about back to school all show, we've been covering, away from local news, the corruption probe in Iraq. Now, bear with me. Most read
Not
stories,
where I thought you were going to go with Let Me Tell You About My Week.
Our most read stories this week have been the drama around the raids in Iraq and the enormous amounts of money, pyramids and pyramids of dollars and dinars that have been seized. And then Iraq looking at shaving 3 zeros off the end of its currency because the currency situation is so out of control. So normally, readers are looking for something a little more frivolous, and all week our most read stories have been rather more serious proposition, plus Strait of Hormuz as ever. So it's been an interesting one. But back to school's been a big one too, and I know we're going to talk about that throughout the show.
We are. You've got one youngster, you've got 100. They're on their way back to schools. People have paid fees, bought 1 million pencil sharpeners.
Well, I think the best proxy is always what's the rush like for school uniforms? Because everyone, no matter how you say, right, we're going to do it early this year, and then the Sunday about 3 o'clock in the afternoon before school start, everyone is in the same shop. But it does seem that things are a bit calmer this year when it comes to said rush.
I think people have come back slightly earlier as well. I mean, I've got neighbours that I haven't seen in what feels like months who were walking their dogs last night, and started to see kids in the street. So I think people are back a little bit early. I don't think
it's like the first daffodils of spring. I've seen some kids in the street.
Green shoes.
Very quiet all summer. But yeah, I don't think people come back on the weekend before anymore. It's too stressful.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, right. Let us look then at what is approaching us on the Business Breakfast this morning. Rory said, Matt said, both said, we have continued our back to school special. This morning, though, let's make it high end. Harrow, I drive past it every time I'm on the Hesse Highway. It was one of those things that once the glowing sign went up, it became all of a sudden. I mean, we were already sort of watching the build because I'm the sort of geek who likes to watch a build, and so do my friends. But once the sign comes up, it just, all of a sudden it's glowing and it's glaring. Where are we on that? Who are we speaking to? Why are we speaking to them? What are we asking them? I always say to guests, if you listen between 6 and 6:15, or PR people, you can pretty much hear what we're going to ask you. It's like a free prep session. What are they thinking this morning? And then you know whether to call in sick or not. What's the deal?
So Simon O'Connor, Harrow International Schools, we're going to be speaking to him about opening their doors in September. I think everyone's seen the rapid progress on the school. Very impressive. You've probably also seen the sort of road that they've built adjacent to Essa Street to allow one to get in and get out, which is hopefully as smooth as it looks like it's going to be. So we'll be delighted to talk to Mr. O'Connor about opening a new school in sort of trying times like this. But as we've seen, they haven't had any trouble getting the building built. So that is a good starting point.
Who did we ask? We asked the Scotsman, Alan, about that. He said they were using an awful lot of local suppliers and local physical materials, stuff that is made here, not just stuff that was already in stock.
The thing that fascinates about me is that were there a group of children who didn't have a school last year who suddenly are going to go, oh, good, I've got school now? Because, for every buyer, there's a seller, right? And where have those children come from? Because one school or multiple schools must be losing students in order for Harrow to perform how it's going to perform, because apparently they're doing well. So I'm interested to kind of hear how that balances, because supply is one thing, demand is another, but what's happened is that new children coming in, or what is it?
I mean, there were waiting lists for schools last year, the year before. I mean, we had our son on a waiting list for 2 schools. And then you get into this kind of, can we squeeze him in? How old is he? Would you like to defer?
Do they test him? He's only very young.
They do actually go for a test.
Yeah, assessments.
What do they do?
It's a little bit stressful, yeah. Basic numeracy.
You have to recite Moby Dick by the age of 3.
Backwards, yeah. Make sure you don't sort of knock anyone on the head, that kind of thing. So, there's an assessment, even at 3. Yeah, our son went at 3. So, but there was
What do you
huge.
do if they don't pass?
We don't ask ourselves that question. As a parent, you don't sort of form that opinion, that argument.
Well, you just assume they'll want them and
just
they'll pay
assume,
you to send them.
But
Stanley, can we have this child for the good of the entire school?
But he climbed that
We'll waive
table
these
so
fees.
quickly. Exactly.
We'll find something else that they're good at. I mean, I guess if they don't get in, it's definitely the school's fault.
Do you believe the waiting list story, though, or is that leverage?
Is that like a posh
we're
handbag?
very
yeah,
busy.
we've only got 3 of these made by hand a year.
But there's no one in the restaurant, sir.
It must have been a problem on some level. I don't think you get major international school supplies desperate to open in time if there wasn't still demand. But sure, I mean, we've all heard people speculating that, maybe schools won't be as full in September. I don't know how much truth there is in that. But yeah, if you look at how busy schools were last September, there was definitely people still trying to get in who just moved here after term had started.
All right, more on all of this to come this morning. We haven't even touched the universities yet, let alone the MBAs, because we have the head of De Montfort University in the studio this morning. The university kids aren't back to the beginning of October. That's for a lot of universities. Some are tied to obviously their international schedules, so you get a little bit of a mixed bag there. But I'm interested particularly in the MBA students, because MBA enrolment tends to be countercyclical. More on that to come. Who's first to put their hand up to do my traffic for me this morning? That would be Rory Reynolds.
It is me.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Yeah, good morning. I was going to start by saying it's going to be a very quiet Friday, but there's a couple of small accidents already. One is near city centre Deira, on the sort of corner of the golf course, Creek Golf Course. Doesn't look major, but it's happened not long ago. And then there's an accident near Mawela Commercial on the E311, which is already starting tailbacks near Safari Mall, Sharjah. That's obviously been quite troubled this week. Keep an eye on that one and take an alternative route if you can. Central Dubai and Central Abu Dhabi are both clear.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8.
Yeah, we should be flicking through the international papers in just a moment.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Assessment, monitoring, management and security all in one intelligent platform. That's NetSecure 360 for business from eAnd. Learn more at eand.ae/NetSecure 360.
2026 is the biggest year for cinema in over a decade, with more than $34.5 billion worth of movies coming to the big screen. Bigger stories, bigger stars, and bigger audiences than ever before. Place your brand at the heart of cutting-edge entertainment with MPN Cinema Advertising, exclusive representative of Roxy Cinemas. This is the year to make an impact. And for 1 week only, you can access a year's worth of advertising at up to 78% off. It's time to step up to the big screen. Register now at cinemarsvp.com.
Energy demand is rising. AI tasks are drawing tenfold the electricity than a simple search. There's a new pressure on our power systems. For more than 50 years, Middle East Energy has brought the industry together to find the solutions to today's energy challenges. This September, the sector meets again to plan infrastructure and build the grid of tomorrow. Join Middle East Energy 1st to the 3rd of September at Dubai World Trade Center. Find out more at middleeast-energy.com.
Dubai Eye 103.8 podcasts. Exclusive content, all on demand.
Listen to the conversations you've missed from your favorite shows and discover new stories from the UAE and around the globe.
Dubai Eye 103.8 podcasts. Listen now on the ARN Play app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Missed Showbuzz 2080 plan? This exceptional offer returns from 20th to 23rd of August. Pay 20% during construction and 80% upon completion across Dubai and Al Quwain, including all Shoba Central units. Visit Shoba Heartland Sales Gallery, speak with an advisor, or connect with your broker. T's and C's apply.
Every arrival is an opportunity to make an impression. Get back to business driving an award-winning Lincoln. Choose from the Aviator, Navigator, Nautilus, or Corsair and enjoy exclusive benefits. Your down payment on us. 5 years or 100,000 kilometer service and warranty. 5 years Lincoln app access. And best of all, start paying in 2027. American luxury refined. Visit your nearest Altair Motors or Premier Motors showroom today. Shop online or call 800 Motors. Conditions apply.
Navigate the highs and lows of life on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
We have all done it. You pop into the supermarket for the basics, you know, your milk and your bread, and you somehow leave with, well, yesterday for me, it was Kit Kats. Well, Abu Dhabi is trying to change all that. And the new Healthy Living programme, supermarkets going to be removing unhealthy food and drinks from entrances, aisle ends and checkout counters, those so-called temptation zones. Dr. Darren Coppin, Chief Behavioural Scientist at Ethics. Why are children such an important part of this conversation when it comes to checkout displays and how we're being perhaps manipulated by them and their needs versus wants when we're in the supermarket?
If you capture a child as a brand advocate or they love your product as a kid, they'll still have their sneaky bowl of Frosties when they're 38 years old.
44 actually, Darren, 44.
So it's buying brand loyalty. But also we've been played for 50 years. Cereal shelves have had the gaze of the eyes of the mascots on the front of cereals looking down at a 9.6 degree angle. They've really precisely worked it out. So it's looking into the eyes of the child so that they will pester you, the actual purchaser and the person grabbing it off of the shelf, to buy that product. So there's two reasons why it targets a child.
Join the conversation on Dubai Eye 103.8. Weekdays from 1 p.m.
Get back to school ready with Skechers. Buy 2 pairs of kids' shoes for just 399 dirhams and get a free school kit. Choose from 4 limited edition designs. Plus, parents can buy 2 pairs of shoes for only 599 dirhams. Hurry! Offers valid for a limited time only. T's and C's apply.
Not all comprehensive motor policies are built the same. The real value often comes from add-ons like agency repair, road assistance, off-road cover and rental car. Speak to Ernest Insurance Brokers and make sure your cover works for you. Call 800 Ernest today.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by RackBank. With RackBank Everyday Banking, get up to 6.25% per annum joining interest and up to 4,000 dirhams cash on salary transfer. Visit rackbank.ae. Conditions apply.
Good morning, you're listening to the Business Breakfast. It is 21 minutes past 6.
The markets on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by Mashrek NeoBiz. Open a business account digitally in 1 day or get 1,000 dirhams. Earn 3% per annum for the first 3 months. Unlimited free local transfers and free WPS. T's and C's apply.
Right, so what have we got going on at the moment? We have got Japanese inflation hitting its highest this year. We have obviously had that Treasury intervention and a lot of words actually from Mr. Besant as well since then to try and stop the sell-off in bonds, which it did for about 5.5 minutes. And then that continued. Where is that coming in on markets this morning? Let's just quickly have a look at US stock futures first. Down, because we closed down on everything yesterday because if the Treasury gets nervous, intervention works for about 5 minutes and then people think, hang on, why are you nervous? You're the adults. And it doesn't always have the desired effect. Shanghai is up slightly this morning, but the Nikkei is down by about 1%. As I said, high inflation, plus we've had, of course, yen intervention, and Australia is down by 0.25%.
Commodities.
Sponsored by EGA, Emirates Global Aluminium. Together, innovating aluminium to make modern life possible. Visit ega.ae to learn more.
Commodity markets, and I'm going to be boring, talk about diesel again. Diesel. It's still over $175 a barrel. I don't know what more you want me to say. It's still over $175 a barrel. Crude oil, though, it's been a bit range-bound this week. I mean, that's not a good thing because it's been in a range that's higher than 90. It closed at $90.20 on Monday, $91 Tuesday, flirted around that, and then we jumped up $2.10 last night to close at $93.50. We're around there today, but it does seem like the next sort of surge in prices may be coming. We're following a very similar pattern to this time last month, but keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on gas oil prices. I'm going to talk to you about cracks in a minute. Don't write in. It means refining margins, but oil largely steady this morning.
You're listening to The Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Right, the conversation going through the international papers. Tom yesterday was vaguely amused, I think, by the language used to explain the difference between input and output costs in the refined products category. He also went into why, which was good. So we all got a bit of a refinery 101 yesterday. Where are we at the moment?
No, they're still really high. Was he talking about crack spreads? The child comes out on everyone when they start hearing about this, what refinery margins are. But it's basically the difference, as Tom said yesterday, between the price of the oil product coming out versus the price of the feedstock going in, which this week, I think Reuters or the Wall Street Journal or someone reported it was over $100 a barrel for diesel. Look, that number's skewed because that is essentially what the price of the pump is in California. That hit $7 a gallon this week. California. So what is that in dirhams per litre? Divide that by 4 and times by 3.67. We can work it out. But you can see California, the biggest consuming state of oil in the US, they have their own specs. It's a situation where here in the Middle East we're largely protected, especially within the Middle East Gulf. But people in Europe, people in the US, the end users, people in India, China, Japan, etc., they are going to start to really feel that cost. And I've been banging the drum for months now, so people call me boring. They do. That's where you're supposed to say, of course they don't. Hello, McFly?
Well, as we were just talking about that New York Times...
I'm sure you're really good at parties, Matt.
Party.
Well, used to be, apparently.
Party trick, yeah. We were just saying before, New York Times...
Are you the man in the corner?
Banging the drum, the diesel drum, yeah.
Are you the man to people who say, do you know what? I don't want to monopolise your time. There's a lot of other people who want to talk to you. I'll let you get on.
I'm the one talking to Uncle Colin in the corner that no one else wants to talk to. But that's okay, I can deal with that.
Strange uncle at the wedding.
Sorry, Rory.
I'm just thinking the New York Times headline, the crack spread is going to make your life unpleasant. I mean, this isn't actually a fringe discussion. This is mainstream.
Yeah.
And as you were talking about last week, the oil of the people, which I think is a great phrase, is suddenly affecting everyday life more than one might have thought. But it's not just the oil going in your car.
No, and I'm pretty sure, we did a comparison, I think last week or maybe maybe Wednesday last week, and I was in with Tom, people in the UK, the Daily Mail will inevitably get hold of this story and there will be some Burnham issue around tax, whatever. Look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're protected from government subsidies or a regulated petroleum environment, everyone is going to feel higher prices. Probably not here. If you look at how prices have performed this month compared to last month, here they're pretty similar. But that higher end user price globally will be felt by everyone. Jet fuel is relaxed because it's not jet fuel, but the story from jet as it was coming into the summer where everyone was worried about if they can go on holiday, now it's can I afford to heat my home coming into the winter in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, you go through these cycles, don't you? Dan Richards from Emirates MBD was saying yesterday that because the inflationary numbers come out from Dubai about 48 hours ago, 5.3%. We were down slightly from the 5.7% high that we've seen during the conflict in June. But even so, transport was the highest basket, and the fastest increasing part of that was air travel. Now, you might think that's because it's summer, Brandy. Duh, prices go up because demand. But that's a year-on-year comparison. So they were up more than 40% on last year, which was also summer. And one of the things that Dan said that I thought was interesting was that even though jet fuel has, as you say, come off a little bit, airlines are looking to recoup losses from flying earlier for higher prices on tickets that they may have sold 3, 4, 6, 10 months ago, depending on how organised people are. I am not that organised. And so therefore, ticket prices are proving to be a little bit stickier. Sticky is a fancy economic way of just saying the price stays high even though the underlying costs might be coming off, which you can understand for airlines, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't usually have a lot of sympathy for big corporate players.
It's an important metric, yeah. You're right. I mean, look, someone said to me the other day, we tracked our highest ever value commodity cargoes, Kepler, the other day. But a VLCC, which is 270...
Was it Botox?
No. Well, this is the thing. So there's a VLCC of diesel, which can carry 270,000 tonnes, about 2 million barrels of diesel. Right now, what do you reckon it's worth?
Please tell us what VLCC stands for,
Very
because it's
large
excellent.
crude carrier.
I love this.
All capital letters, by the way, which annoys me.
You can get a ULCC, which is ultra-large crude carrier.
There's an F. No, there's not.
No, well, there used to be. The Nord-Jara Vikings, it was called, world's biggest vessel. Anyway, a VLCC of diesel, how much do you reckon it's worth right now, going from Singapore to Europe?
Come off it. That's not fair. That's when we say a number.
$350 million. $350 million. But we had our highest ever commodity cargo, which is 32,000 tonnes of copper cathodes that was going into the US, and it was worth $504 million.
So I had a moment on holiday,
gone mad.
Bizarrely, and this is how much fun I am at parties, where I was wandering with a friend around the streets of Stockholm, and we were... we came across this tiny little antique shop, which was adorable because it was literally packed to the rafters. I mean, had there been an emergency, you would have died amongst, ornate hairbrushes made from animals that you're not allowed to kill anymore. And one of the things that were hanging from the ceiling of this antique shop was loads and loads and loads of copper pots. The type you see in posh kitchens and Architectural
Hanging
Digest.
over fireplaces next to the serving winches and clay pipes, that kind of thing.
And my friend and I, because she is as boring as I am, we were like, haven't copper prices spiked? And how aren't people like climbing up on roofs to strip cables? And how in Stockholm is there this shop filled with copper, and how is this not somehow being sold off back into the system?
Did you lift said copper? Did you buy said copper?
No, I've got baggage restrictions.
leverage your position. Pull rank, come on.
That could have been your chance to snap it up and melt it down.
Anything to declare. Yes, large amounts.
Lots of pots.
But no, that's where my mind goes. So much fun. 6:30 this morning. We're looking through the international papers. We're looking through the Rory papers. We are looking through the Rory papers because we're going through the local papers, including the National, in just a moment.
I'm Andrew Hosey. The UAE's National Media Authority has taken legal action against a resident over social media content it says insulted Emirati women. Elsewhere, the Arab League has joined widespread international condemnation of Israel's plans to open construction tenders for more than 1,200 homes in the occupied West Bank. And the US is stepping up pressure on countries that continue to do business with Iran ahead of a new package of sanctions due to be announced on Monday. For more on those stories, head to the ARN News Centre app.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by JAFSA, a complete business setup ecosystem for global trade. Visit jafsa.ae.
It's not about if you'll need medical care, but when. At Ernest Insurance Brokers, we help you find medical insurance that suits your needs. From affordable cover to comprehensive plans, we make the process simple and clear. Call 800-ERNEST today.
The Score on Dubai Eye 103.8.
You're on Match of the Day, you're the lead pundit. The podcast, I've got to say, well done. The Wayne Rooney Show for the BBC. How much are you loving just your own brand, your own platform, Wayne, to get your thoughts and insights into the game across?
It's good because obviously why I've done the podcast, it was if you have opinions, and I found myself speaking to my mates after games, and they thought, why not try and bring that to life? And obviously with Kelly and Kay, I think they're really good and big help on it. for me as well, and it's an opportunity for me to give my thoughts on whether that's Man United, Liverpool, Everton, whatever it is, on football in general. And I think people get to see me a game from a different side, which is probably, it was the right time to do it. It's difficult to do that when you are coaching, so probably been asked to do quite a lot of them, but just thought, why not do my own one?
Join the conversation.
Weekday evenings from 7
on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Some years, people go to the cinema. This year, everyone does. Because this is the biggest year for cinema this decade. Avengers, Doomsday, Dune Part 3, Spider-Man's Brand New Day, and The Hunger Games returns. From Jumanji's open world to the biggest family films of the year, 2026 will see audiences fill cinemas for the stories they've been waiting years to see. The most premium audiences head straight to Roxy Cinemas. And before every unforgettable moment on screen, you can advertise at up to 78% off. MPN Cinema Advertising, the exclusive home of reaching audiences at Roxy Cinemas. Miss it and the blockbuster is over. So register now at cinemarsvp.com.
Your IT team is stretched thin, your systems aren't connected, and when something goes wrong, you're often the last to know. What if there was a smarter way to manage it all? Meet NetSecure 360 for Business from E&. Get your network assessed, monitored, managed, and secured all in one place. One intelligent platform that keeps your business secure so you can focus on growth. Get NetSecure 360 today. Learn more at eand.ae/NetSecure 360. T's and C's apply. And go for more.
More of the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 is coming up next.
Sponsored by Bayut. Want to know what a home is actually worth? Get instant home valuations in seconds with True Estimate on Bayut.
With RackBank, enjoy up to 6.25% interest on a new account, plus up to 4,000 dirhams cash reward when you transfer your salary. Low crypto fees and instant transfers. Visit rackbank.ae. Conditions apply.
Children learn better when they move. That's why at AIA Mankul, physical education takes place every day. Our sports halls, indoor swimming pool and extensive activity spaces keep students active all year round. With facilities for football, tennis, cricket and basketball, we're building a culture of health, well-being and movement from the very first day of school, helping every child thrive both inside and outside the classroom. Admissions are now open for August 2026. Visit AIAMancool.com today.
Will you get your father's operation done or struggle for claim approval?
Avoid the horror of health insurance claims with PolicyBazaar.ae's PB Advantage. Within 30 minutes of your call, our agent will support you through the entire claim process. Best health insurance exclusively on PolicyBazaar.ae.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by ADGM. The ADGM app is your ultimate platform for business success. Available in the App Store and Google Play.
Good morning. You're listening to the Business Breakfast. It is 24 minutes to 7.
Business headlines on Dubai Eye 103.8.
All right, top business stories that we're covering for you this morning. Dubai's, just see my initials, they always make me laugh. Dubai's real estate sector recorded strong growth in the first half. More than 100 projects that are worth more than 100 billion dirhams completed, and nearly 25,000 new units delivered.
UAE companies claiming VAT refunds will need to verify their suppliers in new rules coming into force from the 1st of October.
Uber has begun operating Baidu's fully driverless Apollo Go taxis on its Dubai app, allowing riders to book autonomous UberX and Comfort trips in parts of Jumeirah and Sakim.
More on that to come. Sharjah-based Arada is developing a $1.3-ish billion Twin Tower project on Australia's Gold Coast. Nearly 1,000 homes. It'll be completed before the 2032 Olympics.
Oil prices.
Which I presume are going to be in Australia, or else that would be a really weird thing to complete them before.
Yeah, and a long commute. Oil prices rose more than 2% last night or yesterday, reaching their highest levels in nearly a month. Brent gained 2.4% to settle at 93.78 a barrel.
The AI company Anthropic is preparing for a potential IPO with a public filing possible as soon as this month. It expects the offering could rival or even exceed SpaceX's record.
Alibaba's quarterly revenue rising 9%, driven by a 45% jump in its AI and cloud business. But net profit fell 75% as the company ramped up spending on AI infrastructure.
And Japan's core inflation rose to 1.8% in July, adding to expectations that the Bank of Japan could raise interest rates again in September.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
We had a big discussion when the new look Meta glasses came out. With the cameras that you can't tell are recording. More tech, more cameras, not recording necessarily other people. What are they doing and why are we talking about it?
So if you thought tech was invasive, get a load of this. AirPods with cameras on them in your ears. This is the latest Apple leak, which has kept us pretty entertained the last couple of Fridays, Matt. Apple has...
Tell Brandy she's been sitting in a sauna for 3 weeks. She hasn't been listening to any of you.
I can give you this fresh then. This actually, one of our technology correspondent, Cody Combs, was quick to this the other day. Basically, it hasn't been released, and it isn't really a leak. So Apple accidentally, it seems, put it out in a promotional video, and you can see someone wearing the new AirPods, and they have little... It's more sensor than camera, but it basically means that you can... you'll be able to detect the world around you in a sort of sensor. Basically, you'll know more about your surroundings while you're wearing them. Importantly, and particularly for this part of the world, it seems that they wouldn't be recording or storing any sort of video, which kind of takes it out of the territory of Meta's slightly creepy glasses. Are they recording you or not? But yeah, are we ready? Are we ready for cameras in our ears?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head with the kind of creepy glasses. Is this not verging on the kind of creepy earphones? Like, I mean, I put earphones in to escape and listen to stuff and not talk to anyone else. So let me do that. Why can't things these days just do what they were supposed to do? Why do they have to do a million other things?
That's a good point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it technology sort of overreach? Why would we need this?
Okay, I've got a couple of feelings. And I would like to share them. So the first being, okay, we don't officially know first off from Apple, right? So this is all leak and speculation. And there are people whose whole job is speculating about what Apple might do next and writing it on blogs, which is wild for starters, which is why this stuff leaks. What do? Well, I take fuzzy photos that come out of Chinese factories and I try and figure out what they're of, and then I post them on a blog. So we don't know this from Apple. The fact that they wouldn't necessarily record video or photos, so therefore nothing to worry here. People don't trust big tech, full stop. So you can say that to the cows come home, and it could be true, and there will be an amount of people who don't trust it for starters, right? Because we don't trust tech, full stop. And the second thing is, if it's giving you context of what you're seeing, so, for example, you walk around Business Bay and you see a half-built tower and the AirPods presumably then tell you, oh, what you're looking at there is, Danube's Horizons with a Z or, whatever it happens to be. Delivery date, October 2028, whatever it is, to fill you in. Is there something kind of sad about that? I thought this on holiday where... let me talk about my holiday to you. I was going around Scandinavia, and there's a lot of stuff on menus that you think you might not want to eat that. I'm not a giant seafood fan, for starters. They like a bit of seafood in Norway. So I was taking photos of menus and popping them in ChatGPT, which was very quickly coming back to me and saying, that's a herring, Brandy. But it might be interesting to try some of the local boar, whatever. Which is great, because you avoid eating what you didn't want to eat, and I had some boar ragu, and it was interesting. Yay, moving on. But does it not take some of the fun and discovery of life out of it if you're never left wondering anything because you're just told the answer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't read reviews for that very purpose. I'm not someone who would look at a restaurant and go, I want to go there because it's got really good reviews. I'll go in there because the cuisine interests me and I'll make up my own mind. But yeah, look, it's a good one. But you know, I suppose if you look at that from what Apple have got to do, is that these guys in the tech space, you know, Rory's brought up a couple of the glass phone last week. We were talking about it with Tom. They've got to innovate all the time. But when you look at it from a business point of view, Apple has done so well this year. What do you reckon? Do you know the current what the current worth is of Apple now these days?
The GDP of New Zealand times 3.
$4.6 trillion. So shares are up 25%. They can't sit on their laurels. They can't sit on their hands and do nothing. So they have to come up with to have these discussions probably. Things are still flying out the door. The company's doing really well. They're investing well.
There's been questions about Apple's adoption of AI and how quickly it's taken all of that on, though, hasn't there?
There has been. But, you know, by the end of July, their shares are up 25% year on year. So it's everyone's making money.
Are they?
Everyone is making money, right?
Are they?
We haven't had anyone who's come in and gone, do you know what? It's been a nightmare. I've lost so much money. Everyone's gone, I'm doing so well. Apple
I
included.
think that's a broad and sweeping statement,
Okay.
Stanley.
I look, I hear you, but I'll raise you to find me someone who said it's been terrible 2026.
Businesses don't tend to come out and put their earnings out and they're like, oh, what a shocker.
Some of them
they tend to put a good
some
face
of them
on
haven't
it.
got a choice, though, if they're public.
That's true.
So
They do put a good face on it, but we have seen listed companies explain where they've seen a downtick because of tourists, when they've seen a downtick in the summer, and that's certainly come through in some of the earnings.
And we've seen adjusted earnings as well. You know, companies hitting adjusted earnings that were
And
just.
in the US, for example, I mean, we've been talking about Target and Walmart, but if we take Home Depot and Lowe's, they both are sort of they're kind of Ace Hardware-y people. And they have certainly both been impacted by higher interest rates in the US, which means that people aren't borrowing money to buy houses, because in the US, your mortgage lasts for 1 trillion years. So the rate that you've bought in on isn't being sort of reset in 3 or 4 years' time. That's your rate for life. It's really interesting because it means that generationally, your wealth is going to look different depending on when you're born and when you hit home buying age. And because those houses aren't changing hands, people, weirdly in the US, don't do them up as much to live in as they do them up to sell them and realise higher value. And so they are seeing their business impacted because people aren't renovating to sell, which is a big market.
Depends on your agenda, I agree. I mean, or you can buy a house in France or Switzerland and get a 0.1% interest rate for like 800 years and never have to move ever again.
You're looking at someone whose algorithm is now full of cheap Swedish lake houses, where for 45,000 euros...
And copper pots.
I could have a house that I would have no idea with what to do in winter when the pipes froze. It is 6:45. You're listening to The Business Breakfast.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Yeah, there appeared to be 2 accidents just outside Jumeirah Village Circle on the west side, blocking the E311 and the street that goes from that south. So quite big tailbacks around there. Do avoid it if you can. Must have only happened 10 minutes ago. The rest of the city is looking pretty clear. The E311 from Sharjah into Dubai is starting to get busy after that earlier accident.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8.
Right, water cooler chat. What's it all about?
Dubai Eye 103.8's weather check.
Sponsored by Air Arabia. Save big with Air Arabia. Fly from Sharjah starting from 449 dirhams. Book now on airarabia.com. T's and C's apply.
Mainly sunny and hazy again today with a high of 41 degrees. The humidity will make it feel a lot hotter though. Sunset in Dubai at 6:50.
More coming up next on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Your home of news, business, talk and sport in the UAE.
Time check with WEO Bank. It's coming up to 7 a.m.
Win up to 40,000 dirhams with Wio Personal when you pay school fees with your debit or credit card. Download Wio Personal today. Terms and conditions apply.
Soaring markets to sliding currencies, rising temperatures to dropping rent prices.
Dubai Eye 103.8 tracks the fluctuations that shape your day.
News, business, talk, sport, and everything in between, all in one place.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
A phone fights daylight, but the Roxy Cinemas experience fills a dark theater with 4K laser projection, every color richer, every detail sharper, every ad impossible to ignore. Cinema advertising, only represented by one company.
More of the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 is coming up next.
Sponsored by PolicyBazaar.ae. Health insurance that gives you no claim bonus, auto recharge, and claim support in under 30 minutes. PolicyBazaar.ae, where the UAE gets insured.
In a world that's constantly changing, your next move matters. In the heart of Dubai, the University of Wollongong offers globally recognized degrees, flexible study options, and a pathway to real career growth. Whether you're ready to level up, change direction, or move forward with confidence, this is your moment. Take control of what comes next. Apply now at the University of Wollongong in Dubai.
Dubai Eye 103.8 podcasts.
News, business, talk, sport.
We were joined on the show by Joe Navarro, one of the world's leading experts in human behaviour and negotiation. He spent 25 years with the FBI working extensively in counterintelligence and behavioural assessment. I asked Joe, when he first meets someone across the table, what he is paying attention to before anyone has even started negotiating.
Everything that communicates. How you dress, how you walk. Do you have a plastic watch on your hand or do you have a Patek Philippe? How you wear your hair. Are you well groomed? How often you touch your own clothing? Are you nervous? Are you preening yourself? What's your pace? Did you get up when I walked in or were you just sitting there? Who sits last? Who sits first? How we shake hands. Are they klutzy? Because anything negative registers with us. And if you have a bad handshake or somebody violates your space or they're klutzy in how they handle themselves, all these things register. And it would be negligent of me not to observe these things and catalog them and say, okay, what does this all mean? What does this all represent?
Hear this podcast in full now at DubaiEye1038.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Energy demand is rising. AI tasks are drawing tenfold the electricity than a simple search. There's a new pressure on our power systems. For more than 50 years, Middle East Energy has brought the industry together to find the solutions to today's energy challenges. This September, the sector meets again to plan infrastructure and build the grid of tomorrow. Join Middle East Energy 1st to the 3rd of September at Dubai World Trade Center. Find out more at middleeast-energy.com.
The ultimate road trip to Hatta is back. On Saturday, the 12th of September, 400 lucky listeners will head up the mountain roads to the beautiful J.A. Hatta Fort Hotel. 5-star breakfast, family activities, prizes all morning, and then a night at the stunning J.A. Lakeview Hotel when you get back to the city. Plus, one listener drives home with 10,000 dirhams in cash. The ultimate road trip to Hatta.
In partnership with Al Wathba Insurance, Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University, and Lepas by Al Ghurair.
Powered by Dubai Eye 103.8. This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by DP World, your global partner. Reshaping supply chains to deliver smarter, sustainable, customer-centric logistics solutions.
Good morning. You are listening to the Business Breakfast. It's 9 minutes to 7.
Currencies.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
Yeah, let me just run through the local currencies because I want to talk about the Japanese yen. Indian rupee 26.07 buys you 1 dirham, 75.57 Pakistani rupees, 16.81 Philippine pesos. Dirham to the dollar is now above 5. That's that crucial mark when cable or dollar sterling gets to 136.10. It goes above 5, so just that psychological. But keep an eye on the Japanese yen. Japan and the US intervened to strengthen it earlier this month, the currency that is, and we're already back at around 159 yen to the dollar. That is now feeding through into Japanese inflation, which increases the pressure on the Bank of Japan to raise rates again. It's just an interesting currency story that's doing the rounds in a fairly benign currency environment right now.
InsuranceMarket.ae. We have insured Dubai families since 1995. The kids we covered then have kids we cover now. Get health insurance from InsuranceMarket.ae. Call 800-ALFRED.
You're listening to the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Yeah, so what is the conversation this morning? Tom's not here to call it Tom's Talk of the Town, so we'll call it the Trio's Talk of the Town.
The Business Breakfast's Talk of the Town.
Who's on the dinner party circuit anyway?
Me in the corner, apparently, talking about diesel refining margins.
Yeah. Matt Stanley, fun at parties. What are we talking about, though? Quite genuinely, other than what does Q3 look like, what does Q3 look like, what does Q3 look like? I had a discussion yesterday, actually, with someone who helps a lot of companies plan, basically. And she was sitting in my kitchen, and she sort of said, you know, are we avoiding the conversation around Q3? Like we as in the collective we. As a city or an emirate or whatever else. And my answer was, I don't think there's a conversation yet to be had because we don't know. I mean, we do know that people are starting to come back in. I was in the airport in Abu Dhabi the other night. Baggage claim was busy. I mean, the new airport there is giant and has a very, very high ceiling. And so you don't, you know, you're not feeling... you're not feeling cramped, but the sheer amount of people that were moving through it was something.
Same as DXB. DXB was the same. I mean, I don't know if you saw the news this week, but they have Uber and Kareem have now opened an air conditioned lounge, much needed. Because,
really, that's so clever.
You know, you go through the car park. It's at the back, and you wouldn't see it but it is unbelievably hot and humid in there, and all the flights land at around midnight. So everyone is waiting for an Uber and Kareem, and it's all kicking off. It's like being at Heathrow. It's amazing. I love it. I wasn't even flying. I just went there for the fun of it, just to see this lounge. No, I'm joking. But it was an interesting one. But yeah, you're right.
My point was just, we're not going to know exactly what it's looked like until we're in it. So I think at the moment we've got a couple of weeks of limbo. We know that people are coming back. We know that sentiment is there to get on with things. But there is always going to be a certain amount that's outside of our control.
I was talking to my mum about this yesterday, right? Another anecdote. August in the Middle East, in the UAE especially, people go into like hibernation. You don't really leave you're like, do you want to go out? Do you want to pop out for a beverage or whatever it might be? And you're kind of like, nah, I'm all right. I'm just going to stay in, I think. And I think a lot of people do that. It's similar to February in Northern Hemisphere. You're just like, nah, I'd rather not. I think September is the key one, you know, but we are 2/3 of the way through by that time of Q3.
Yeah, we are. I agree with you. I actually think humans need a bit of a reset and need a bit of a downtime. And like you say, traditionally, summer was the time that you got your admin done. You went through the emails that had been banking up. You cleaned out the drawer in the kitchen that's full of batteries and weird stuff. Yeah, exactly. Drawer, yeah. And you got stuff done. And I feel like for the last couple of years that hasn't necessarily been the case. But I also think it's important to have.
I think also that people have been on holiday, you know, probably once. Maybe they were on holiday in the spring, you know, during the conflict. So you kind of come back in August, you're not kind of desperate to spend, really. I mean, people do sort of hunker down if they've got school uniforms and goods to buy.
As they would call it in Scandinavia.
yeah. Our own particular kind of hoog where we're trying to escape the humidity. But yeah, I don't think it's not a big spending month. It's not a big partying month, is it? And
well, I'm doing a staycation this weekend.
Are you?
I am.
What were the booking loads like? What were the prices like?
Very good. competitive. How do we refer? As an end user, very good. Price is very good.
Yeah.
For the hotel sector, I would argue the opposite.
But as you say, for every buyer there's a seller, and it's always amazed me when we're talking about off-plan property that when people get worried about oversupply of property, right, and they think, oh no, there's going to be this massive amount of flats coming onto the market. I mean, I own a flat. I don't like hearing that there are 46 million more flats coming onto the market because I worry about, therefore, what mine will be worth, because that's my position. And then we always interview someone who says, don't worry, traditionally, whatever percent of those are going to be late. And everyone thinks, oh, thank goodness, no oversupply. And then I think, well, that's okay for you, but not if you're the person who's bought one, because you're on the other side of that transaction and you'd probably quite like it.
But they're not building apartments next to where you live.
No, but well, they do have a plan to build them behind where I live, and in fact, they have built one in front of where I live. But you know what I'm saying. There's a buyer and seller on every side of the deal. Mm-hmm. So when we also talk about stock markets, and we say there's a massive sell-off, someone's bought those stocks. So you could actually technically say there's a massive buy-up, and you would be correct.
Yes.
Someone will buy all those flats, 25,000 come into the market, they'll be sold. Actually, a lot of them were pre-sold, weren't they? That was the whole point.
But for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. No, for every sale, there's a buy, and for every buyer, there is a sale. Apart from real estate, where it is always both the perfect time to both buy and sell if you're an agent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's for every yin, there's a yang, absolutely. But on real estate, we're saying goodbye to one famous building, apparently. The Toyota building up in Shakeside Road.
No.
Yeah, being demolished. Well, Rory, correct me.
It is, yeah. The people that own it have confirmed that it's going to be demolished next year. There also seems to be, it's long tenure as a landmark is coming to an end. So built in the late 70s, opened around 1980.
Is the Toyota sign still on it? Can people who haven't been here that long, do they know where it is?
So it came off in 2018 and it went back on a couple of years later. So there was a time where it was off. Also, fun fact for you, which other car brand used to be alongside it? Daihatsu. So I had Daihatsu on one side and Toyota on the other.
Is that a famous car brand?
Probably not. Same as Toyota.
Just off to the old Daihatsu showroom.
But as we were talking about, I mean, the Shakeside Road is being redeveloped. The Trump Tower is going to be half a kilometre up the road, couple of 100 yards. And it is a much-loved landmark, but it is showing its age. I think anyone who's driven past it has probably seen this kind of cracks in the buildings and things. But yeah, a kind of a moment, a bit like when Defence Roundabout went. What was that? 15,
Don't
20?
touch the macaroni factory, is what I say to you.
The Pepsi building, but it is for a building that's been here over 50 years.
When do we stick blue plaques on things?
Right. Yeah. Mr. Toyota lived here from 1974 to 1981.
I think there's an argument for it.
I'm up for it. Because, the Dubai Zoo's being you were away. So Dubai Zoo's now going to be apartments.
Okay, that makes sense. Prime
Down
real
to
estate.
One. Yeah. So hopefully it will be a hippo lived here between 1994 and Harry lived here.
As long as there's not a stuffed hippo in the lobby, I'm fine with that. Right, 7 o'clock on the dot.
Dubai Eye 103.8 is always on. Anytime, anywhere.
Hear what you've missed or discover brand new content, all on demand.
Dubai Eye 103.8 podcasts. Listen now on the ARN Play app or wherever you get your podcasts. This is the Business Breakfast on your home of news, business, talk, and sport in the UAE.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Good morning. You are listening to and watching the Business Breakfast. It is 1 minute past 7 on a Friday morning. You have got Andy, you have got Brandy, you have got Rory, and you have got Matt live on Dubai 103.8 your radio. We're also on your YouTube as well. We've got a channel there. It's a Friday morning, as I said, 21st of August, 7 o'clock. Top stories.
Dubai real estate sector records robust first half 2026 growth. Uber has started operating Beidou's Apollo Go driverless service in Jumeirah and Umm Takim, and oil prices rise to a 1-month high.
Coming up, more on these top stories. Plus, it is almost back to school time. We'll speak to the boss of the upcoming Harrow School and the head of one of the universities about what the new academic year holds.
And cruise lines have paused their Gulf seasons into 2028. We're going to find out what's going to take to bring them back, how that's going to work for their itineraries. Before all of that, though, Andrew Hosey has some updates for you.
From the ARN News Centre.
Now, the stories as they happen.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8 News.
The UAE's National Media Authority has taken legal action against a resident over social media content it says insulted Emirati women. The authority said the posts breached the country's media regulation law and has suspended the woman's advertiser permit for 3 months. It says it will not tolerate content that insults Emirati women or undermines their role in society, while urging social media users to post responsibly and respect the UAE's values and national identity. Elsewhere, the Arab League has joined widespread international condemnation of Israel's plans to open construction tenders for more than 1,200 homes in the occupied West Bank. The development is part of the wider E1 settlement project east of Jerusalem, which critics warn would effectively divide the West Bank and further separate it from East Jerusalem. The UK, Germany, France, Canada, Norway, the Netherlands and Italy are among those calling the plans unacceptable and urging Israel to withdraw them immediately. Under international law, Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank are considered illegal. The US is stepping up pressure on countries that continue to do business with Iran ahead of a new package of sanctions due to be announced on Monday. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says Washington is seeking cooperation from China, which buys more than 80% of Iran's shipped oil. President Donald Trump has warned that countries providing what he calls a lifeline to Tehran could themselves face major economic penalties. China says sanctions and pressure will not help resolve the conflict. And a glove worn by Michael Jackson is among a collection of celebrity memorabilia going under the hammer in the United Arab Emirates. Julian's Auctions is holding its first Celebrity and Culture Week in the country in December. Items include guitars linked to writer Mark Twain and Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, as well as clothes worn by Diana, Princess of Wales. Plenty more stories on the ARN News Centre app.
Dubai Eye 103.8 Sports.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
The new Premier League season gets underway tonight as defending champions Arsenal host a newly promoted Coventry City. Mikel Arteta delivered the London club's first title in 22 years in May, beating Manchester City to the prize. It's been 25 years since Coventry were last in the top flight, with Frank Lampard's side arriving as championship winners. And in tennis, defending champion Carlos Alcaraz has confirmed he will make his return from injury at the US Open later this month. The world number 2 has missed the last 4 months with a wrist problem. Alcaraz has lost the top ranking to Yannick Sinner, who he beat in last year's men's final at Flushing Meadows. Plenty more sport. ARN News Centre app.
Insurancemarket.ae. What if your insurance gave you money back? Up to 8,000 dirhams a year in rewards, free with every policy through the My Alfred app. Insurancemarket.ae.
Good morning. You are listening to the Business Breakfast. It is 5 minutes past 7. We have a cast of thousands in the studio, which I am exceptionally glad for this morning. I have Matt, I have Rory, and I have...
The Hosey's headlines.
You.
Marvellous. Good morning. How are you?
We are okay.
Okay. Is that Friday vibe? Been a long week because, of course, you've just come back. So settling back in. Week has been long. Just looking forward to the weekend.
Week's been good.
Good.
Week has been good. I have largely spent it trying to continue my Scandinavian sauna habit by finding cold plunge possibilities across the Emirate. Talk to us about driverless taxis, because I know Rory's got an eye on this as well.
Yes, so this is Uber and Baidu, the Chinese company Baidu, who are now offering driverless rides through the Uber app in Dubai. You can order an Uber X or Uber Comfort and you could automatically be matched with one of Baidu's Apollo Go robotaxis. Or if you actually fancy trying one as well, you can also check the autonomous autonomous option in the app, which increases your chances of getting one. I just went on the app a little bit earlier. It's only available from 9 o'clock. The autonomous option, which I thought was
What, are they sleeping in?
Well, that's what I thought. The driverless taxi needs a break. Can't start working till 9. And I thought, that is interesting. Are they saying that they're not sure about it because of
In the dark?
rush hour traffic?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, yeah. Would you get in one?
Not at the moment, no.
Would you not?
Not at the moment. Because I'm one of those people that if I'm sitting in the passenger seat of someone driving, I am pressing imaginary pedals. You know? I'm the one that's slamming the brake on. The brake that doesn't exist. I'm there going and cringing when when the driver goes close to the car in front. I cringe and start pressing buttons, imaginary pedals.
I've got a funny story
I'm
about
not taking you anywhere.
No. Oh, really?
A friend of mine's dad used to have one of the you learn to drive cars, and they've got a set of pedals on the passenger side, and he was a very nervous passenger. So every now and then we just suddenly stop when the driver wasn't stopping, because the bloke would be pressing the
He
brake
would be doing it.
It was a nightmare.
It's just the reflex action. But getting back to this, obviously they've made this with safety in mind, of course. There's 30 sensors to constantly monitor everything happening around them. They've done loads of testing on this. Their Apollo Go vehicles, Baidu says, have already done 350 million autonomous kilometres, more than 240 million of that with no driver at all. So, of course, they're not just lobbing them onto the streets. There's been plenty of work done on this, plenty of testing. It's not available throughout Dubai as yet. It's still in the Sakim Jumeirah area, with rollout to be coming up soon.
I went to Detroit about 15 years ago to see some of the first autonomous tech come out. Detroit, of course, the car-making hub of the US. And it was just before actually, I can tell you exactly when it was, because I was vox-popping people as well while I was there. Fun fact, the largest sort of Muslim population by density of a town in the US is Dearborn, which is also in that area. So I went to Dearborn, and it was when Donald Trump was first running. So whenever he was first running for president, it was then.
Okay.
Because I was talking to people about it. And I was there driving in the first driverless cars. So that's how long that technology has been around. Machines are more rational than humans. I would probably hop in a driverless taxi before I would hop in a car with someone who's driving I felt a bit dodgy about.
Well, I wonder if when autopilot was first released on an aeroplane, if someone said to you, no one's going to be flying this plane, it's going to be flying itself, everyone went, not a chance of getting on that aeroplane. True. And now you don't even think about it.
But of course you don't see what's going on in the cockpit.
No, well, that's what we need to do. We need
so
just a cabin where the taxi driver's on his own, and we don't know if there's anyone in there or not.
Yeah, so you're just being taken without the knowledge of you're staring at an empty seat in front of you.
Yeah, but every
and
time...
the wheel going round and like turning left and turning right, and it's like no one's doing that.
Do you think it'd be better if you couldn't see the wheel?
Yeah, I think so.
You couldn't grab it.
Yeah, I do think that. But in these taxis, do you sit at the front as a passenger, or
No.
are you told you have to sit at the back? Is it like there's no way you could sit at the front seat?
I just hop in the back out of reflex. Anybody else?
There's always stuff in the front seat in the taxis here.
So?
Yeah, you have to move the seat back. It takes about 10 minutes. Everyone sits in the back, don't they? Is that just me?
Well, depending on how many people you're travelling with, I would often be the one that ends up in the front seat, because they say you've got the longer legs. You sit in the front passenger seat. We'll sit in the back.
They just want to see you freak out at the driving, is what it is.
If there's four of us, though, but can you sit at the front and then just stare nervously at the empty seat beside you? That's what I want to know.
Do they have to have over? So many questions. I'm fine with it. Like I said, machines are more rational than humans.
Yeah.
If you've got 5 people and you're getting a driverless taxi, can someone sit in the driver's seat?
See, now that's the other
there's
interesting
a question.
point. We need answers on
Might
this.
have just solved the traffic issue in Dubai.
Right, at 9 o'clock. Let's book one. Let's bring it to the station.
Okay. Shall we try this out?
Seriously, go around the block. I'll pay for it.
I don't think it will be allowed to make it up here. Do we? Is this considered
No, we'll stick you in it. You can go around the block. We'll
Okay.
FaceTime you. Isa? Yeah, why not?
All right, we'll
Is
see
this
if
the
it
worst or
actually...
the best idea in radio? Whenever someone thinks they're going to do something live, the amount of times I started as a tech reporter in the late 90s, early 2000s, and the amount of times you'd see a CEO standing on stage and someone would say, and the first transaction is going to be made by our CEO.
Yeah.
And you'd all just sit there thinking, excellent, you know this is going to just
is
crash,
not
don't you? It's not going to go through. And a lot of the times it didn't go through.
So as I sort of disappear out the office, never to return at 9 o'clock...
Well, just make sure you call us on the way.
Yeah, he's actually just gone for a coffee. He's blaming the taxi.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'll have a look. When it goes live, the autonomous option goes live at 9. I'll see what it can do for us.
See if you can book one first.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm all for you going for a spin.
Right. The nods in the studio.
Yeah, we'll take some
Is
pictures
this
out the
career-ending
window.
radio? Text us in, 4001.
Getting back to this final point this is the first city to launch under Uber and Baidu's global partnership. So there we are, another first for Dubai.
They've got these in loads of cities in the States. And I think it just gets normalised and people do it.
I think it's safer than having a human in the car for sure, especially some of the driving I've seen on the roads lately.
I'm sorry, someone's just texted in about this.
Okay.
And
Is it safe for radio?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they said that you can use the driver's seat.
You can?
Yeah, I used to place my dog there and sit in the back.
All right, so the dog...
Looked like he was
okay,
driving.
I can
and
see.
someone saying in
So-
the
I'm
US
more
with
freaked out
Waymo.
that there's a Doberman driving that car.
They did it deliberately to try and see if it could set off the traffic cameras. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
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 Try and fool Dubai police into thinking that their dog is driving the car.
You would freak out.
This is the story that keeps on giving, this one.
It is indeed. Anyone who's been here long enough to know of wild animal in car, urban rumours that always used to do the rounds will also be smiling this morning. Right, we are just coming up to 7:15. Good morning.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Yeah, still problems around Jumeirah Village Circle following at least 2, possibly 3 accidents. Dark red all around there. This is to the west of JVC on the E311 and the E44, which is the road that goes south into the city from there. So avoid that. It's quite significant tailbacks. The rest of the city is looking pretty clear. Sharjah into Dubai, it's starting to get a bit busy, but no specific accidents.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Right, it is back to school season, and we've got the school that everyone has been talking about. Simon O'Connor of Harrow International. One short driverless taxi ride away from this studio is going to be speaking to us in just a moment. We are also, by the way, going to be speaking later on to Professor Simon Bradbury from De Montfort University. Bigger kids and smaller kids trying to get a gauge of what the new academic year might look like here in Dubai. Everything from enrolments to costs to dealing with AI in the classroom. That's coming up.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by ADGM. Download the ADGM app and transform how you live, work and thrive in the ADGM district.
Progress is built through smart investments. For over 3 decades, Dubai Investments has contributed to the UAE's growth through a diversified portfolio spanning across real estate, manufacturing, healthcare, education, financial investments, services, and others. With innovation, resilience, and long-term value at its core, Dubai Investments, powered by diversity, investing beyond today.
The Debrief on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Doug, are you a solo diner?
Well, yeah, I used to be in the past a lot. I mean, there's me and a load of other business people travel on our own all the time. sit in your hotel room on your own, or down in the restaurant, chat to the staff. When I was younger and single, maybe eyeball some of the talent.
Yeah, having a crack.
Yeah.
Did it ever work, Doug?
No, that's confidential information.
You're not revealing anything, Big Doug. That's all right.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
The Ultimate Road Trip, brought to you by Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. Smart learning, built for real life. Flexible pathways, future-ready skills, trusted by hundreds of thousands of learners across accredited bachelor's, master's, doctoral and professional development programs. Your road to future-ready skills starts here. Learn more.
Dubai Eye 103.8, One to Watch. Your weekly pick for what everyone's talking about.
Marvel fans have a serious catch-up ahead of Avengers Doomsday, arriving in cinemas this December. The Essential Watch List takes roughly 300 to 350 hours, including Loki, WandaVision, The Fantastic Four First Steps, and many more. It's a major commitment, but the perfect excuse for a superhero marathon before Marvel's next big multiverse event.
Find out what's captivating audiences next time on Dubai Eye 103.8, One to Watch.
More of the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 is coming up next.
Sponsored by Bayut. Want to know what a home is actually worth? Get instant home valuations in seconds with True Estimate on Bayut.
We were founded as part of an audacious ambition to transform the prospects of a nation, to create enduring prosperity. Today, we are the largest premium aluminium producer on Earth, providing a material essential for progress everywhere. Our greatest days are still to come, and we have bold aspirations to fulfill for all of us. We are Emirates Global Aluminium, together innovating aluminium to make modern life possible.
Set the agenda for your day.
If you've got children heading back to school in the next few days, you may already be, wincing at the uniform bill, because some parents say they are spending between 1,600 dirhams and 2,000 dirhams a year on uniforms. Matthew Benjamin, he actually founded his Dubai-based sustainable uniform company, Capes, a few years ago. He told me why uniforms in the UAE are so expensive.
In the UAE, it's predominantly private schools, and the large majority of them will demand a revenue share. And that revenue share could be anywhere up to 40%. So in order to, let's say, make that work, suppliers will buy as cheaply as they can, sell for as much as they can, and then that still allows for that margin to then be paid to the school and for the supplier to remain very profitable.
Join the conversation on Dubai Eye 103.8, weekdays from 10 a.m.
Over 11,000 businesses from all over the world use Jebel Ali Free Zone as a business ecosystem, a community that serves as a key manufacturing and trade hub. Attracting nearly 75% of Dubai's FDI in manufacturing, trade and transport, Jafza is home to companies across advanced manufacturing, automotive, healthcare, food and electronics. To see how your business can grow, visit jafza.ae.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by policybazaar.ae. Get health insurance with exclusive PB Advantage benefits like no claim bonus and auto recharge from policybazaar.ae, where the UAE gets insured.
Good morning, you're listening to the Business Breakfast, 21 past 7.
The markets on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by Mashrek NeoBiz. Open your business account digitally today by downloading the Mashrek Biz app, the best-rated SME app in the UAE, or visit mashrek.com/neobiz. T's and C's apply.
Yeah, US markets all closing down yesterday. Dow Jones 1.3%, S&P down almost 1%, Nasdaq down 1%. That is on weaker than expected Walmart earnings. And also, Scott Messon admitted he doesn't know when we will be on the other side of this relating to the Iran war. This morning, Asian markets are mostly flat. The Nikkei down 0.3% by mid-morning. Australia and China mostly flat pre-market trading in the US is up a little in the green, but largely flat.
Commodities.
Sponsored by EGA, Emirates Global Aluminium. Together, innovating aluminium to make modern life possible. Visit ega.ae to learn more.
Yeah, Brent taking a bit of a breather up. 93.57 we're trading now per barrel. WTI is 86.50. Higher week on week. About where we were this time last month. Diesel, though, the stuff we put on our car, again, diesel, boring, but it's $175 a barrel. What do you want me to say? Gasoline, though, where is that? That's $138 a barrel. I want to give you better news. Is higher oil prices good? Not if you put it in your car, it's not. Let's wait and see.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Well, we are almost at that time of year, back to school, and with it, the highly anticipated launch of a number of new schools, one of which is Harrow International. You've probably seen the building coming up at the side of Hesse Street. It is quite the monolith. Coming from the UK, it is famed as a boarding school in the UK, and an independent school. It is mixed curriculum here, but it brings 450 years of heritage to Dubai. We're delighted to be joined by Simon O'Connor, head teacher at Harrow International Schools, live in the studio. Simon, thank you very much for joining us. The couple of weeks we're in at the moment, it must be quite busy for you and the team.
Oh, it's great fun. We are now in the building. The beaks, as we call our teachers, are now setting up their classrooms and getting their learning environments ready. So it's been an incredible few months, but we're on the final stages of getting ready.
Now, a new build, the built from scratch. Some of the construction happened during the conflict, including the final months. It sounds like a Herculean task to get there. Give us an idea of what it took to get the building ready for new pupils, students coming in just over a week's time.
Well, I mean, you've already mentioned the size of the school. We're 50,000 square metres, and I think a build of that size anyhow would be a challenge. But the conflict has certainly increased that challenge. Yeah, I mean, we've had problems with supply chains. We've had problems with making sure that we've got everything that we need in the right place. But we've overcome it, and I think that's real testament both to the construction team and also the Talim organisation that has made sure this is taking place. I mean, there've been other problems as well. I mean, it's completely expected. Our admissions slowed during the conflict, but we are so pleased that we've come through this. We've had parents that were initially, again, fully understandably concerned about this, but they've come back and have brought their children into the school. And we're fully staffed. We've got over our target in terms of pupils, so a great position to be in.
That's a great point to mention, and we'll come back to sort of admissions in just a second. Coming out of the conflict, as we hope we are, we've been speaking to schools, I mean, at the National where I work, we've been speaking to schools the last couple of days about kind of trying to reassure parents that, things will be normal as they expect when schools go back. Everything has been taken care of, that there's no sort of need for kind of concern. Just give us an idea of the role that you've had with that regards as an education leader here in Dubai.
Well, we've been spending a lot of time with parents and with our staff to reassure them. We've got approximately half our staff coming from overseas, the majority of which are coming from the UK. So we've been having regular meetings and actually been to the UK to meet with them, to reassure them. Similarly, in terms of parents, we've had a lot of face-to-face sessions, but online sessions as well. Not simply reassuring, but explaining what the school that they're signing up for in terms of whether it's the education, the dining, the co-curricular experience, just to really reassure them about what's happening. In terms of actually opening the school, the KHDA have a lot of protocols. I've got a meeting later this morning to look at those protocols to make sure that, for example, should things deteriorate again, we're absolutely prepared for that as well. So there's a very comprehensive approach to that, both in terms of the reassurance, but also making sure we've got the plans in place for the future.
The enrolment levels, how full will Harrow be when it opens? It's a staggered start, if
Yes.
I'm not correct. If you could explain that to
So we're
listeners.
only opening up into year 6, and our initial target was for just over 370. We'll open with approximately 400, so over that target. We're not trying to fill it. It's not the case of get everyone in as many as you can. We want to open with a level that ensures that we can open the school and provide the very highest quality of education from day one. We will then grow the school both in terms of numbers in each year, but also the year groups moving forward.
You mentioned just before we came on the sheer size of the building. I mean, Dubai and Abu Dhabi schools have competed with each other for the finest facilities. But give us a sense of what is in Harrow and what makes it special, what justifies the fees as well.
It is an enormous site, which appreciates in itself. I mean, as I say, it's huge. But what that allows us to do, because actually, even when it's full, we're going to have a little over 2,000 pupils there. So that size of space with that limited number of pupils means that exactly that. It's very light. There's lots of space. That enables our pupils to have space to be themselves. Facilities-wise, I mean, I think they're second to none. From the grass rugby fields to the swimming pools to the libraries, etc. It's a comprehensive set of facilities. But we're also fully aware that that's simply a backdrop. That enables, those are the resources that enables our beaks, our teachers to be as successful as they can be. And we've spent a long time recruiting the very, very best beaks that we can find across the world.
Simon, beaks, I like that term. Never heard that before. Excuse me. But one question I've got, because all we can talk about, all the market can talk about, everything across all sectors is AI.
Mm-hmm.
How do, even an institution, 450-year-old institution like Harrow, how do you stop AI becoming a problem when it comes to education? Or do you embrace it?
I think you embrace it. I mean, we need to train pupils. Pupils that leave the school need to be digital natives. They need to know how to use AI. But I think equally, if not more importantly, they have to understand when not to use AI and the dangers of using AI. The reality is that we cannot now tell if a pupil hands in a piece of work that has been generated by AI.
You can't tell?
No. I mean, and there's various websites that suggest they can, but they can't. Generative AI can produce things that is untraceable. So I think we have to go back a step and actually talk about the ethical dimensions of this. And Harrow is very much a school that is built about the character development of people. We've got values such as honour, and explaining to pupils that AI certainly is a tool, and it's a tool that they need to use. But one of the things we're doing is the default output for work is going to be cursive script handwritten on paper,
right.
and not just this simple default run to a device. Because actually, the evidence is very strong about, I mean, the brain activity that cursive script requires as opposed to the inactivity that using a computer requires. We want children to be able to use these devices, but I think a mistake a lot of people have made is understanding that IT is our servant. We are not the servant of it.
The pen is mightier than the
100%, yeah.
ChatGPT.
Absolutely.
So in order to go forward with AI, you have to kind of go backwards to when we used to...
Yeah, and we will teach coding. We will teach digital technology. Absolutely. But in the same way, we will teach oracy and the ability to public speak and debate, which is something that shouldn't involve technology, actually explicitly should not involve it, because it requires the thinking skills that I think our pupils will carry for the rest of their lives.
Just further to Matt's point, and that's a great answer, how do you educate young people, help educate them at the moment, and prepare them for a world that would be vastly, vastly different in, say, 15 years' time when they go to university? How do you build that in?
It's an argument we hear a lot, and I think actually, to a degree, is overblown, because I think everyone is preparing for a long time. We've been preparing people for a world that won't exist, in the sense that change is a constant. But actually, the fundamental answer to that is we go back to the root of what people are. And yes, children will leave with a set of qualifications, but I think if that's all they leave with, then we failed. I think there's a whole range of skills and understanding that they need, development of character, that is far more important. I mean, if we look around the room, I'm sure we've all got qualifications, but how often do we refer to them? When I come back to the ability to talk in public, the ability to interrelate with others, the ability to empathise people's contexts. One of the values that we have at Harrow is fellowship, and I think there's a really exciting conversation there, because in my expectation, fellowship for a 6-year-old is quite a localised concept. But I want our upper sixth to leave understanding that they have fellowship responsibilities for people they know they will never meet. That is, I think, going to be a really powerful and exciting process for them.
Simon O'Connor from Harrow International School, thank you so much for joining us live in the studio today. We wish you the best of luck on the first day back to school and with everything this term.
Thank you so much.
Love that.
I'm Andrew Hosey. Dubai's real estate sector recorded strong growth in the first half of 2026, according to the Land Department. Elsewhere, the Arab League is among those condemning Israel's plans to build 1,200 new homes in the West Bank, and the United States says it will announce what it calls the toughest sanctions in history against Iran next week. For more on those stories, head to the ARN News Centre app.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by RACBank. With RACBank Everyday Banking, get up to 6.25% per annum joining interest and up to 4,000 dirhams cash on salary transfer. Visit racbank.ae. Conditions apply.
The ADGM app is your platform for success. Whether you're looking to elevate your business or experience the best of lifestyle in the ADGM district, the app has it all. Access business tools, real-time updates, and network within a thriving professional community. Explore exclusive dining, wellness, and events across Al Maraya and Al Reem Islands. Download now and transform how you live, work, and thrive at ADGM. Available on App Store and Google Play.
Soaring markets to sliding currencies, rising temperatures to dropping rent prices.
Dubai Eye 103.8 tracks the fluctuations that shape your day.
News, business, talk, sport, and everything in between, all in one place.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Celebrating our 10th birthday, we're confident that Heartland International School has grown into a strong community, balancing academic rigour and excellence with a warmth and passion for our values and the development of character. My name is Fiona Cottam, and as the principal of the school, I'd like to invite you to join us for a school tour to see firsthand the Heartland way. Call 800 Hearts, that's 800 427 87, or visit heartlandinternational.com to register.
Who in Dubai builds luxury living and next-generation offices?
Tomorrow World!
Founded in 2022, we create branded residence and future-ready commercial hubs across Dubai Islands and key growth corridors.
With an 8 billion dirham pipeline over 24 months, every project delivers long-term value.
Tomorrow World. Let's shape tomorrow today. Visit our sales gallery at Ubora Tower, Business Bay, or tomorrowworldgroup.ae.
Navigate the highs and lows of life on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
My heart went out to Dominique Dillon, a news anchor in Memphis who experienced every broadcaster's nightmare, falling asleep live on air. So we're talking about, when does being tired tip into sleep deprivation, and could some of us be shift workers or effectively living like shift workers because of our sleep patterns? Julie Mallon's with us today, sleep consultant, founder of Nurture to Sleep. This is not to cause any anxiety, but what is some of the damage that can be done if you're not getting enough sleep or your body clock is being disrupted on a long-term basis, Julie?
Our body produces these wonderful anti-cancerous cells which are released during the night, and when we get up in the morning we actually pee them out, these incredible anti-cancerous cells. If we are not getting sufficient sleep, then the risk of cancer is considerably increased. Looking at Alzheimer's, dementia, when we go to sleep at night, the brain is bathed and washed out. It goes through this wonderful washing system. If we're not getting that sleep at night because it doesn't happen during the day, a shift worker is experiencing all of these things where the brain is not being cleared of those two very important toxins.
Join the conversation on Dubai Eye 103.8, weekdays from 1 p.m.
Travelling with valuables? Your home insurance may also protect items like jewellery, watches and personal belongings outside the home. Speak to Ernest Insurance Brokers and travel with confidence. Call 800 Ernest today.
Get back to school ready with Skechers. Buy 2 pairs of kids' shoes for just 399 dirhams and get a free school kit. Choose from 4 limited edition designs. Plus, parents can buy 2 pairs of shoes for only 599 dirhams. Hurry! Offers valid for a limited time only. T's and C's apply.
On a phone, a notification can steal an audience from your digital ad in seconds. Inside Roxy Cinemas, cinema advertising captures up to 7 times more attention than digital and social video. Only one company brings cinema advertising to life.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by Dubai Investments. Powered by Diversity. Investing beyond today.
Good morning. You're listening to the Business Breakfast, 24 minutes to 8.
Business headlines on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Right, we have got Dubai's real estate sector recording strong growth in the first half. More than 100 projects that are worth more than 110 billion dirhams were completed, and over 24,500 new units developed. Given over. Here's your keys, sir.
There you go, delivered. UAE companies claiming VAT refunds will need to verify their suppliers in new rules coming into force from the 1st of October.
Uber and the Chinese ride-sharing company Baidu have launched fully driverless taxis under the Apollo Go brand on their Dubai app, allowing riders to book autonomous trips in Jumeirah and Unsukim.
Sharjah-based Irada developing a $1.4-ish billion twin tower project on Australia's Gold Coast. Nearly 1,000 homes with a completion target before the 2032 Olympics.
Oil prices rose more than 2% yesterday, reaching their highest levels in nearly a month. Diesel, $175 a barrel. I'm going to keep on saying that. Brent yesterday gained 2.4% to settle at 93.78 a barrel.
The AI giant Anthropic is preparing for a potential IPO with a public filing as soon as this month. It expects the offering could rival or even exceed SpaceX's record listing.
And Alibaba's quarterly revenue rose by 9%, driven by a jump in its AI and cloud business. But net profit fell by 75%. We know why. The company ramped up spending on AI infrastructure.
You're listening to the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Right, the cruise industry. As you know, lots of people have seen the development of the Dubai Cruise Terminal, what's happening in Abu Dhabi, Mina Rashid, etc. But it's been a bit quiet of late, understandably, with the Strait of Hormuz being closed. But I had some questions. I spoke to producer Jen yesterday, and she arranged our next guest, Lakshmi Durai from Cruise Explore, joins us on Teams. Good morning, Lakshmi. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Matt. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. I'm okay. Listen, it's a delicate set of questions, obviously, and a delicate story to be told, I guess. But we heard that MSC, some of the major cruise liners, have been cancelling Gulf sailings and bookings out as far as 2028. Give us the quick sort of summary of what where the cruise industry within the Middle East Gulf, where it is right now.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be on air. Of course, the cruise industry, the ships are getting cancelled, and they have cancelled the sailing for next year, 27-28, as for the 27-28 winter. But I would say these cancellations are more to do with the deployment planning that they have to do well in advance. The cruise lines have generally they do the deployment and the itinerary decisions like more than a year in advance. So and then the itineraries are up in the system, loaded even 1 year before for them to sell. So they have to take a decision now, like for the 27-28 winter, so that the deployments are finalized, the itineraries are finalized, so that the guests can go online and start doing the booking. So I would attribute it more to the planning style of the cruise industry rather than like referring it to the situation as such. Well, so of course it plays a role, but it's more to do with like the advanced planning.
Okay, I take your advanced planning and I counter you with it has been a challenging environment for all things shipping. So what is the real problem? Because the Strait of Hormuz is partially, depends on who you want to listen to, it is closed. Traffic is a trickle. We haven't seen any passenger ships cross the strait for a long time now. But what is the real problem? Is it security? Is it insurance? Or is it just simply confidence in the sector locally?
See, having like of course, the problem is obviously it is there, and the ships. It's not just the question of deploying a ship in a destination. The ship has to be filled. So obviously, the people should have the confidence to travel internationally. And when you are having a ship in the Arabian Gulf, it's not only the people living in here who is going on board. Like it's the international market who is coming into the country to see the beautiful places around the Gulf. So the confidence definitely has to come back. So the destination proposition remains very strong. So there's no doubt about it. With wonderful winter sun across the world, if you see, the winter destinations are very, very limited. There are not many winter destinations with very pleasant climate in winter. So Dubai has that, in case the Gulf has that winter destination, and the modern infrastructure, air connectivity, and then the beautiful shore excursions. So with all this, the destination proposition remains very, very strong. So once the situation stabilizes and then the consumer confidence develops, obviously the ships will come back, and then they will be able to fill the ship quickly, and things will get back to normal.
Okay, yeah, Lakshmi, look, on that, I mean, of course, but I know with the winter sun story, my favourite hobby, golfing, I was obviously a winter event mainly, but you mentioned there about, confidence returning. If Hormuz reopened tomorrow, how quickly did you see the cruise industry actually return?
Cruise industry would love to return very quickly to the destination, because, as I said, the destination is beautiful. But having the challenge of deploying finalizing the itineraries and deployments well ahead, I would say the comeback will be gradual. But it will definitely come back. But it will be
give us a timeline. Gradual. I understand, but a time. Are we talking 3 months, 6 months, a year? What's your view?
It really depends on the ship availability and whether they have the ship available to deploy. If the itineraries are finalized, then it depends on each cruise line. I would definitely put it to the more of the planning stage, because they have to plan the itineraries, right? If the ships are readily available, yes, the situation improves. They'll be happy to come back immediately.
Okay, look, I mean, but if operators are already cancelling out making decisions for 2027, 2028. Doesn't that tell us that this is more of a structural issue rather than temporary?
I wouldn't say so, because if they are doing it, as I said, you need time to fill the ship. So you need time to design the itinerary. And if you want to do any alternate destination, this planning, it involves a lot of planning stage. I'm sorry to say the same thing again, but that is a very strong reason. They have to plan well ahead. So I think that goes like a very strong point for them to decide where they are going to be sailing in this winter or even next winter. If you see now, like we are in August 26, the itineraries are planned until April 2028 for most of the cruise lines. So they do the planning. This is not nothing to do with this scenario, but worldwide, across so many years, any destination they sail, this is the itinerary planning style.
Okay, look, Lakshmi, we've got a minute left with you. Look, some tough questions I've put against you there, but Dubai alone saw just under 1 million cruise visits last year. So that's people coming in on the boat, around the Strait of Hormuz, been picking up in the Red Sea, wherever it is. Where have those passengers gone now? Where are they? Are they moving to other areas, or is it? What do you see in the market there?
See, all the millions of people who came in is for winter. So we haven't really come to the next winter still. Of course, having said that, we had a fabulous summer cruises. So the appetite for cruising continues very strongly with the Middle Eastern guests. They love cruising. They have been doing their outbound cruises anyways in summer. So in winter, if they have the cruises, definitely the next winter is still to come. So it's very difficult to say at this point where these guests are. So coming winter 27, 28, they will definitely find a plan, or if situation get back and if everything is good, then again, like they love to be on the cruise again.
Okay, Lakshmi, look, we have to leave it there. But look, winter is coming, so I'm sure we'll speak to you at some point during Q4. That's Lakshmi Derived from Cruise Explore. Thanks for joining us.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
It's not been the smoothest morning on the roads. Those Jumeirah Village Circle accidents causing quite a bit of trouble. This is where the E311 meets the E44 going south. There's still tailbacks, even though it looks like the accident's been cleared. So for a quiet morning, quite a bit of disruption. Try and avoid that if you can. Business Bay looking a bit busier, same as last week. And then the Sharjah into Dubai traffic is starting to build up. And there's an accident on Al Ittihad Street just before you come in to DXB.
Dubai Eye
103.8.
Right, the big kids are going off to university shortly. We'll find out what those enrolments look like.
Dubai Eye 103.8's weather check.
Sponsored by Air Arabia. Save big with Air Arabia. Fly from Sharjah starting from 449 dirhams. Book now on airarabia.com. T's and C's apply.
Mainly sunny and hazy again today with a high of 41 degrees. The humidity will make it feel a lot hotter though. Sunset in Dubai at 6:50.
Your home of news, business, talk, and sport in the UAE.
There's more to come on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Time check with WEO Bank. It's coming up to 8 a.m. WEO Bank is born to back you, your business partner to help you grow. Download the WEO Business app.
Over 200,000 dirhams worth of prizes awaits you. Send money now with Al Ansari Exchange app for a chance to win amazing daily, weekly and monthly cash prizes. Plus 100,000 dirhams grand prize. Offer valid until 31 October. Conditions apply. Al Ansari Exchange. 60 years of success and service excellence. Dubai is preparing to host the region's largest media gathering. From 15th to 17th September, the Arab Media Summit 2026 returns with a landmark edition celebrating 24 years of media leadership. For the first time, more than 7 major specialized media forums will come together under one umbrella, bringing together industry leaders, creators, innovators, and the next generation of media professionals. Register now at dpc.org.ae.
More of the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 is coming up next.
Sponsored by Dubai Investments. Powered by diversity. Investing beyond today.
Why pay it all today when you can slice it? With Slice by Network, you can split your purchase into 4 or 8 monthly installments with 0 interest and 0 fees. No new app, no sign up, just pay with Slice when you use your credit card at participating network merchants. Your Emirates NBD, First Abu Dhabi Bank or ADCB credit card is enabled for Slice. Try Slice today. Buy now, pay your way. Your trusted payments leader. Terms and conditions apply. Visit network.ae/radio to know more.
North London Collegiate School Dubai, a place where learning is fun. I love coming to school every day. All of our teachers make our lessons exciting and enjoyable, where inquiry is at the heart of all that we do. To experience life at NRCS Dubai, join us for one of our upcoming events. To register, call 800 NRCS. That is 800-6527. We would love to welcome you to our school.
Dubai Eye 103.8 podcasts.
News, business, talk, sport.
How valuable are those premium spaces, you know, those end of aisles and those checkouts in kind of monetary terms to you?
So our business is a sales-based business, so it's around volume. If you want to buy enough of a product to make the price right, you have to sell that volume. So we use those ends to drive volume.
Do you think that healthier products will sell when you put them in prime positions?
They already sell. Now, Choithrams has a great history of being one of the first to import a lot of products. So we've often been one of the first to bring in low sugar, low salt, gluten-free, whatever the health reason is. And they've always sold. What they'll do now is they will sell in greater volume. And that's a good thing. I've lived in the region a long time. Diabetes is a long spoken about issue in the region.
Mark Mortimer-Davis, CEO at Choitrums.
Hear this podcast in full now at DubaiI1038.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
The ADGM app is your platform for success. Whether you're looking to elevate your business or experience the best of lifestyle in the ADGM district, the app has it all. Access business tools, real-time updates, and network within a thriving professional community. Explore exclusive dining, wellness, and events across Al Maraya and Al Reem Islands. Download now and transform how you live, work, and thrive at ADGM. Available on App Store and Google Play.
The ultimate road trip to Hatta, brought to you by Al Watba Insurance. Wherever life takes you, they've got your back. Explore motor, health, home, travel, cyber, jet ski, and visit Visa Insurance. Buy directly now at awnic.com. Al Watba Insurance. Care beyond coverage.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Assessment, monitoring, management and security all in one intelligent platform. That's NetSecure 360 for business from eAnd. Learn more at eand.ae/NetSecure 360.
Good morning, you're listening to the Business Breakfast, 8 minutes to 8.
Currencies.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
Yeah, currencies. Look, the Indian rupee, I want to have better news, but it remains weak this morning. Dollar rupee is around 95.70. Rumours yesterday that the Reserve Bank of India have been actively trying to prevent that from breaking through the 96. High oil prices are not helping. But let's have a look locally. 1 dirham's buying at 26.07 Indian rupees, 75.6 Pakistani rupees, and let's go Bangladeshi taka, 33.20.
Insurancemarket.ae. The worst part of a small accident isn't the dent, it's what can happen after. But with us, you are just one call away from your dedicated claims manager. Get car insurance from insurancemarket.ae.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Oh yeah, it's back to school. We've been speaking to Harrow this morning, and we're going to turn our attention to the big kids now. Universities. Now, it's not strictly back to the lecture theatre for a lot of universities who will go back in line with their international counterparts. But we are taking this opportunity to take stock of where they're up to enrolment-wise and what's going to shape the new academic year. We are joined by Professor Simon Bradbury. He's Pro-Vice-Chancellor International and Provost Overseas for De Montfort University, Dubai. Simon, it's lovely to see you. Good morning.
Brandy, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So you're looking at early October for the start of the autumn term, but there's an open day at the end of this month. What are your numbers looking like at the moment for the start of the new academic year?
Well, overall, we're anticipating being similar or maybe slightly down on last year. But I think what's interesting is those mix of students that we're seeing. It's very different from that previous year. So we're seeing some challenges in the international market, as you'd expect. But actually, domestically, we're seeing more students wanting to study locally and close to home.
When you say similar or slightly down, are you talking more about new students or returning students? Is there a difference?
Yeah, that's for the new student enrolments, and obviously that's what drives our overall numbers. In terms of returning students, the vast majority of our students we're expecting to return. In the middle of a degree, they don't want to sacrifice that, so we're expecting them to come back.
Do they have the option, though? I mean, De Montfort International University, of, I don't know, taking their credits and doing a couple of terms or semesters in Leicester, for example?
Yes, they do. I mean, that's part of our core offer. So you can study, we study in a block format, so you can do 4 blocks a year, and you can actually go and take 1 or 2 back in our home campus in Leicester, or indeed our campuses in Kazakhstan or Cambodia.
Are students looking to do that? Are you having conversations with nervous internationals?
Not as part of their kind of main degree program. Typically, we run a foundation program here, and so some of those students have chosen to kind of continue their degree program. But I would say it's marginal numbers, not the vast majority.
When you say that you're seeing an increase in local students, talk us through that.
Yeah, so I think it's been a trend over the last few years. Historically, about 60% of students that study in Dubai go overseas for their studies, and increasingly we're seeing them stay locally. So year on year, that 40% is fairly stable for us, but we're getting more students choosing to come here, but also working students, actually, that's quite interesting. So we're running more Saturday programs for students to do undergraduate programs whilst they're in work, and we're seeing that significant growth, actually, probably 10-15% year on year.
Will you essentially not know what your numbers look like until the very start of term for returning students?
Yeah, I think the other interesting thing about universities is we have 2 intakes, or actually 3 at De Montfort. Yeah. So our year position won't be known until April, and we expect maybe slightly softer September, but we won't know that formally probably until we really get to the final date of enrolment in October. But we're expecting January to be positive. The last couple of weeks have really seen that demand for international students grow, I think, in the region.
How competitive is the market for graduate and undergraduate students at the moment here?
I think locally it is competitive, but I think we need to think about the global context. Dubai, 2 years ago, over the last 2 years, has seen a 40% growth in its total students. 30% of that's from international student growth. And globally, we're seeing demand for international students, and Dubai is a study hub. So although it's competitive locally, we're in a growing demand market overseas.
What about for your MBA students, because you offer a business masters? There's some evidence that MBA enrolments go up in times of uncertainty and economic flux. People often do them between jobs. What have you seen for your new cohort?
Yeah, so definitely you've seen a bit of an uptick in some of those master's programs, but particularly for students that already are in employment. So obviously if you don't have employment, that's more challenging in this market, but actually people that, as I said, we're running more classes on a Saturday for students that have jobs. So yes, we're definitely starting to see that come through.
We've been chatting to Harrow this morning, talking about AI in the classroom. 2 different ways that AI, or several different ways that AI is impacting higher education. What's your policy on using it for starters?
Well, we encourage the safe and effective use of AI across all of our different curriculum areas. It's really important, actually, students that know how to use generative AI in all of the different fields. But obviously, we have really clear policies that if it is used, it has to be declared. It has to be part of that workflow. So, yeah, that's the way in which we do it. I mean, the expectation from students is that they will learn generative AI. 94% of students surveyed by QS expect universities to have AI taught in the curriculum.
How do you police it?
So, I'll give you a good example. So let's take design professional architecture. We will ask students to generate ideas as part of that design process and then put that in the portfolio and talk about it. In the law court, we will ask them to do a case by, AI and one by themselves and compare those two, like in a mock trial. So it's about how you format the assessments rather than using the traditional format. You can't have an essay just handed in and expect that to be okay. You have to follow it with an interview or a viva afterwards.
Simon, it's Rory here. I wanted to touch on why more students locally are studying here and are not going abroad. Is that out of difficulties getting visas for places like the US? Is it concerns of safety on campuses in places like the US and Europe? Just talk to us about that.
Yeah, there's a mix of reasons. So I think the first one is partly about staying close to home, security, safety, and for some parents, sending students, as you said, to the US is difficult, and they wouldn't want to do it. The other thing is cost. Increasingly, cost of university is top of the mind for many students, and obviously living costs are a very large majority of the cost of going to university, not just the tuition fee. And the third one is access to employment. So actually, some of those economies don't have those jobs post-graduation. Dubai is known for having a really kind of innovative base, and opportunities for employment for those students, and that's why we're seeing that shift.
We have to leave it there. Unfortunately, we are at the top of the hour, and therefore we are out of time, despite the fact that I can see that both gentlemen sitting next to me still have questions for you. Professor Simon Bradbury, Pro Vice-Chancellor International and Provost Overseas for De Montfort University here in Dubai. We appreciate your time this morning.
News moves fast. Dubai Eye 103.8 helps you make sense of it.
These radars are not only designed to pick up if you are speeding, they will be able to spot if you are not wearing a seatbelt.
Whether it's happening here,
Dubai is testing drones to clean traffic signals across the city,
or around the globe, we're talking about it.
China's foreign ministry says the United States seizure of another country's ships was a serious violation of international law.
Go beyond the headlines with Dubai Eye 103.8.
Your home of news, business business, talk and sport in the UAE.
This is the Business Breakfast on your home of news, business, talk and sport in the UAE.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Good morning, you are listening to the Business Breakfast. It is 8 o'clock on a Friday morning, August the 21st. You've got Andrew Hosey, you've got Matt Stanley, you've got Roy Reynolds, and myself, Brandy Scott, live on Dubai Eye 103.8, your radio, streaming live on YouTube at Dubai Eye 103.8 FM. At 8 o'clock, our top stories.
Yeah, morning. US bonds continue their sell-off. I'm sure we're going to dig into that a bit deeper probably next week. New VAT rules around supplier verification are coming in from next month, and Uber has started operating Beidou's Apollo Go driverless service in Jumeirah and Sakin.
Coming up more in these top stories, plus back to school. Who actually gets to choose the school bag that gets bought? A British brand reckons it's increasingly the children. We'll find out if they're right.
And the Federal Tax Authority asking companies to verify their suppliers. We're going to find out more, but for all of that, Andrew Hosey's got your headlines.
From the ARN News Centre.
Keeping pace with what's going on in your world.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8 News.
Dubai's real estate sector recorded strong growth in the first half of 2026, according to the Land Department. A total of 104 projects worth over 111 billion dirhams were completed, with transaction volume rising 38% year-on-year and investment value up 52%. Residential supply also expanded, with more than 24,500 new units added to the market, an increase of over 36% from the same period last year. Officials say the results point to continued investor confidence and a resilient economy. Elsewhere, the Arab League is among those condemning Israel's plans to build 1,200 new homes in the West Bank. The group joins countries including the UK, France, Canada, Norway, the Netherlands and Italy in calling the plans unacceptable and urging Israel to scrap them. The United Nations and most of the international community consider Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank illegal under international law. Middle East correspondent Adam Parsons says it's different to previous proposals.
It would start to divide the West Bank, to divide East Jerusalem, occupied territory, from the rest of the West Bank, and also to start to divide the north and south sides of the West Bank. Remember, this is all occupied Palestinian territory.
The United States says it will announce what it calls the toughest sanctions in history against Iran next week. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says details will be outlined on Monday as Washington increases economic pressure alongside its naval blockade. Bessent has also urged China to cooperate with the US, with Beijing buying more than 80% of Iran's shipped oil. China says further sanctions and pressure will not help resolve the conflict. And Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan is reported to have left prison to go to hospital. Local media outlets say the country's Supreme Court has allowed him to have medical treatment. The 73-year-old's been in custody on corruption charges, which he claims are politically motivated, since August 2023. Plenty more news on the ARN News Centre app.
Dubai Eye 103.8 Sports.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
In golf, Rory McIlroy bounced back from a difficult start to the FedEx Cup playoffs to share the first-round lead at the BMW Championship. The Northern Irishman birdied 4 of his final 6 holes to shoot a bogey-free 6-under par 64 in St. Louis, leaving him in a 5-way tie at the top. World number 1 Scotty Scheffler struggled to a 2 over 72 just days after winning the opening playoff event by 8 shots. And in cricket, England lost a flurry of late wickets but built a healthy lead by the end of day 2 of the first test against Pakistan. The hosts will resume on 366 for 8 later with a first innings lead of 195 runs at Headingley. Harry Brooks scored 91 while captain Joe Root was one of 4 players to hit half-centuries. And if you want more sport, head to our ARN News Centre app.
Insurancemarket.ae. Flights booked, bags packed, brain already on holiday. Fast claims, fair prices, real protection. For travel insurance and more, insurancemarket.ae.
All right, you are listening to the Business Breakfast. Brandy, Matt, Rory, Andy, all in the studio with you this morning, and let's take a look at what's making headlines.
The Hosies headlines.
Good morning.
Someone's watching us.
Yes. Now, Associated Press article looking at the increasingly sophisticated ways employers are monitoring us, essentially, and saying might be worth trying to find out exactly what the company can see about you. Workplace monitoring, of course, we know this is nothing new. During COVID, became quite the debate.
What do you mean by monitoring, though? Because there are degrees, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's swiping to get into a building.
So there's
to
that's
software that tracks your eye movements.
Yes.
Where are we?
So during COVID, we heard about companies tracking things like keystrokes, mouse movements, where you sat at home in front of your computer or where you sat in front of your telly. And companies would say, well, we are perfectly within our rights to see whether you're doing work at home. We can track you by how often you click your mouse or how often you move your mouse, how often your laptop button is pressed or whatever. That kind of thing was going on. So there was those arguments going on. But now this AP article says that advances in, guess what? AI, of course. And data science means companies can now collect more information, like where we actually are, and how quickly we're doing stuff, and how long we're spending on phone calls, and how long we are spending at appointments. So basically tracking everything we're doing over our work day. So communications and activity on computer devices, but enhanced since the basic, seeing how often you press your mouse button or seeing how often you type in hello into your computer.
But I mean, that's moved on from like FaceTime in the office, when people were like, okay, if you were first in like 8 o'clock, you were putting in extra effort. Anyone who left bang on the dot at 6 o'clock, you'd be scorned at because they're trying to run for the 6:20 train. So this is just moved on from physical office to being at home.
And of course, the problem with this is it doesn't track quality of work. Again, it's like the old adage of, well, you clocked in at 8 a.m. and you clocked out 2 hours later, which means you're a wonderful employee and we all think you're great. But what are you actually doing in those 10 hours where you're sat in the office? Probably much less than the person doing 6 hours.
I wonder, like, reputationally what this means as a company known for like extreme micromanagement or sort of surveillance to the point where you're counting keystrokes. I mean, it can't be healthy for a company to be known that they do this.
I mean, they were in this article. They have a couple of examples that they came up with. They had a pharmacist who said her employer tracked the length of her calls and patient appointments. You'd think that would be a good thing if you're spending more time with people to work out what they actually need and want. Warehouse workers had their pace monitored through scanners. That's an old one that's been going on for how long? A college lecturer discovered that her administrators were able to read not only the essays students had submitted, including some about very personal subjects, but also her comments back to them. So essentially assessing what she was doing on a daily basis in terms of the old red pen on the jotter scenario. What kind of feedback was she giving her students on a daily basis? It's almost like, again, where does the trust come in as to what your staff are doing?
Yeah, that's kind of what stops me, which is if you have employed me to do a job and you don't trust me to do that job and you don't trust my judgment, to take the pharmacist example, I've got a patient in front of me. We're supposed to keep appointments to 5 minutes, but I think actually I'm a little bit worried about what's going on here. I'm a little bit worried about what I'm about to prescribe you. I don't think you understand it. Whatever it happens to be, I don't think it's yours. I'm going to ask a few more questions. I'm going to take longer. If you don't trust me to do that, why have you employed me?
Well, sorry, but does it? It's how that trust is interpreted, right? I think people these days value more flexibility around how and where to work than they do perhaps even around pay rises. And I think, on your point though, Brandy, if you're sitting in an establishment in the Greens, drinking coffee and researching, does that matter compared to if you're at home sitting behind a desk? Isn't that what people are trying to establish here?
It's a lot to do that, but it is essentially a trust issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like ensuring that you the staff that you're employing are working as efficiently as they should be and providing the best results that they should be.
It doesn't make for a happy workplace. I'm just reading the same article. I mean, it says there's an increase of colleagues will team up with like-minded colleagues to advocate against bosses, and then they also start to find out what data your employer is collecting about you,
Yes.
which could also have legal implications. So you've just got this like us and them mentality in the company when you bring in these things. It sounds like.
Yeah, that's the whole other side of the article, is talking about data collection on you and the fact that this is actually happening. And where is your data as an employee going? Whether it's turning up in third-party organizations or not. That's something
The
they're
other side of that
discussing.
question then is not just, if you don't trust me, why do you employ me? It's, do I trust you? And if I don't trust you, why am I working for you?
That's the flip side, yeah, as well. Like, it's a two-way thing, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I should be knowing if there's data being taken on me and where it is going.
Yeah.
Especially in, a lot is done online in terms of meetings, Zoom, Teams, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. That can be monitored.
Yeah.
And you're obviously opening yourself up online with companies that take data from about you.
But we've been doing this. We have school reports for children.
Yeah.
What's if
They're
if you wanna,
children.
yeah, I know. But if you want to go to another school, you have to send report on to the school. What's the difference?
But you're not given a school report by someone who has not. You were given a school report by a teacher who has assessed you over that year.
Well,
if you're talking about primary school reports,
yeah, well, okay. Let's secondary school instead of the kids that can't answer themselves. Like, if you're looking at how you performed in university, what your attendance was like. What's the difference when you go and to become like Rory was saying with the graduate scheme they've got at the national, right? It's people need data now that it's more transparent.
Would you want every employer you've ever had,
Not a chance.
Stanley,
No,
to
not
have
a
written
chance.
the report
You don't
and
even
to
have to
pass
finish
it
that
on
question.
to future
Not
employers?
a chance. In the UAE, yes. London, not a chance.
See, there's the thing: is it's like you're looking back at your history and going, okay, perhaps I was a little bit, more free and easy with my time.
23-year-old Matt Stanley
We
in
love
London.
him, Maverick, but we love him.
Yeah. So how does that? And then 20 years on or so, and someone looks at that data and goes, "Oh, well, you perhaps a bit erratic."
Why? Who have you been talking to?
And then so you're saying now that, or they're seeing this
Tired and
person.
emotional.
Yeah, this person is had a fairly erratic start to their career. Can he be trusted? Of course you can, because you have proven time and time again that what you do is good and successful.
Responsible.
Yeah, responsible.
I'm very
there we
responsible.
are. So should this be allowed into that
No.
kind of environment? No,
No.
it should not.
Absolutely, unequivocally, no. Rory? Should your job record, other than your CV, follow you from job to job, what they actually thought of you?
It probably shouldn't, but I think some companies ask for people to account for many years back, right? Provide a reference.
Exactly, it's a
for
reference,
something you
right?
did.
Yeah, but
The first place you worked. So it's probably inevitable. Although, would a reasonable employer sort of really
I've
dig
left
into
jobs before where people have literally treated it as though we were getting divorced.
Right. That's just ridiculous.
Some
isn't
employers
it?
don't want you moving on to somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the sort
it
of
can
scorched
be-
earth policy.
Yeah.
Isn't it illegal to give a bad reference?
Some countries it is,
yes.
yeah.
Illegal. I mean,
You
what
can
are you
make
gonna do?
inferences,
Right.
but you cannot say bad things.
It's always been the rule, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That if you say nothing, or if
It's-
you just say, yes, you're right, Andy Hosey did work here for 7 years, then what you haven't said is,
that they were awful.
yeah. Where are we?
Which
Where are
I'm
we?
not.
Which he's not. 8:15 on a Friday morning. Let's look at the roads.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Okay, a bit of trouble on the roads this morning. E611 Emirates Road behind Arabian Ranches 2. There appear to be 2 accidents and quite significant tailbacks, maybe 2 or 3 kilometres. Where Gems Metropole is. There's still heavy traffic on the west side of Jumeirah Village Circle where there were early accidents, but that has gradually cleared. Dubai Design District, Al Khail Road is also quite busy. And then Sharjah into Dubai, not looking great. There's a lot of roadworks in the Mahaisna, Mawala sort of area this week, and there are accidents on the E311 and Al Ittihad Street in the past half hour or so.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8.
Well, we're talking tax next.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by RACBank. With RACBank Everyday Banking, get up to 6.25% per annum joining interest and up to 4,000 dirhams cash on salary transfer. Visit racbank.ae. Conditions apply.
Every arrival is an opportunity to make an impression. Get back to business driving an award-winning Lincoln. Choose from the Aviator, Navigator, Nautilus, or Corsair and enjoy exclusive benefits. Your down payment on us. 5 years or 100,000 kilometer service and warranty. 5 years Lincoln app access. And best of all, start paying in 2027. American luxury refined. Visit your nearest Altair Motors or Premier Motors showroom today. Shop online or call 800 Motors. Conditions apply.
Will you get your father's operation done or struggle for claim approval?
Avoid the horror of health insurance claims with PolicyBazaar.ae's PB Advantage. Within 30 minutes of your call, our agent will support you through the entire claim process. Best health insurance exclusively on PolicyBazaar.ae.
Cruise through your weekend with Motormania.
Driving a manual car could actually be good for your brain. Now, a study from Japan found that changing gears and using the clutch and managing the accelerator can stimulate the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that's linked to the memory, concentration and decision making.
It really does become the man and machine because there is genuinely a feel-good factor when you're in the right car and you're changing gears. In my opinion, it is one of the joys of driving. Of course, it doesn't help sometimes when you're in standstill traffic and we have to talk about the clutch.
Every Saturday from 10 a.m.
on the UAE's #1 talk radio station, Dubai Eye 103.8.
Ask any business owner, and they'll tell you trade never stands still, and neither do the challenges businesses face. That's why, when trade routes change, we help our customers adapt. When time matters, we make every move count, connecting the dots to keep goods moving. Our skill, experience, and expertise find smarter routes, stronger connections, and better ways to trade. DP World. We find a way every day. Visit dpworld.ae.
Your IT team is stretched thin, your systems aren't connected, and when something goes wrong, you're often the last to know. What if there was a smarter way to manage it all? Meet NetSecure 360 for Business from E&. Get your network assessed, monitored, managed, and secured all in one place. One intelligent platform that keeps your business secure so you can focus on growth. Get NetSecure 360 today. Learn more at e&.ae/NetSecure 360. T's and C's apply. E&. Go for more.
Progress is built through smart investments. For over 3 decades, Dubai Investments has contributed to the UAE's growth through a diversified portfolio spanning across real estate, manufacturing, healthcare, education, financial investments, services, and others. With innovation, resilience, and long-term value at its core, Dubai Investments, powered by diversity, investing beyond today.
The Debrief on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Ali, who do you support?
Manchester United, of course, the best club in history. I'll tell you why. In the Second World War, the stadium got...
We're going back. You're going way
yeah,
back.
I'll tell you the history of this great club. The whole stadium was destroyed during the war and it was rebuilt.
Yeah.
The first English club to win the Champions League. And then after that, 1973, they went down to the Second League. And then they got back again. So every time they go down, they fight and get back up.
So they're fighters. Who's their main guy, Ali?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, they've got lots of names, and I would say Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire? Oh, Ali.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by insurancemarket.ae.
Your business journey starts here with Ajman New Ventures Free Zone. Set up your company with a license in just 2 hours and a visa in 48 hours. Packages start from only 4,888 dirhams with a 100% digital process and no office visit needed. One license covers up to 10 business activities, plus flexible installment plans. Call 0680-888888 or visit ancfz.ae.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by ADGM. The ADGM app is your ultimate platform for business success. Available in the App Store and Google Play.
Good morning. You're listening to the Business Breakfast, 8:20.
The markets on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by Mashrek NeoBiz. Open a business account digitally in 1 day or get 1,000 dirhams. Earn 3% per annum for the first 3 months. Unlimited free local transfers and free WPS. T's and C's apply.
Let's have a look at what's happening in the stock markets this morning.
This morning, US stock markets ended the day pretty poorly yesterday. S&P down 1%, Nasdaq down 1%, Dow down 1.3%. Pre-market trading is slightly better today, just about in the green maybe. The market doesn't want to end the week on a low. Asia this morning slightly in the red, not doing much. Nikkei down 0.4%.
Commodities.
Sponsored by EGA, Emirates Global Aluminium. Together, innovating aluminium to make modern life possible. Visit ega.ae to learn more.
Numbers, I'll give you numbers. I'll give you a really big number. 40 trillion. That's how much the US government owes. US government debt hit above 40 trillion US dollars. We're going to have a focus on that next week, what it all means, what's happening with yields, what's happening with interest rates, what the US is trying to do. So stay tuned for that. Currencies, what's happening at all things oily. 93.54 we are for Brent. 86.50 we are for WTI. Diesel, I can't help yourself. It's still over $174 a barrel. It's down a little bit, but it's still $174 a barrel.
You're listening to the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
Where the conversation now takes us to tax. We are going to be looking at some changes that are coming in when it comes to VAT and some more responsibilities for companies that are filing for VAT tax deductions, mandatory supplier verification. What does it all mean? We are joined by the taxpert, Thomas Van Hee of Orifa. Good morning, Thomas.
Good morning, Brandy. Thanks for having me.
So the UAE bringing in mandatory supplier verification rules from the beginning of October. In lovely, simple language for us non-accountants, what's happening here?
Well, I'll give you a lawyer's answer as a lawyer, but I'll try and make it not too complicated. Effectively, what is the FTA trying to fix here? The FTA is trying to fix tax evasion, and it has a couple of tools in its toolbox. One of them is to deny the input VAT deduction, right? And there's effectively two situations there. One is you are involved and you are involved in tax evasion, for example, by claiming input VAT deduction on tax invoices which are fictitious. In that situation, you will get the input VAT deduction rejected. In the second situation, you might not be involved, but you should be aware that you are part of a carousel, that you are effectively part of a chain of events in which there is fraud happening. This is now where the FTA has stepped in last year with a change in the legislation, and now very recently to prescribe how to demonstrate that you've taken the necessary steps to try and demonstrate that you tried to verify whether you were involved or not, and hence didn't have the possibility to deny that you were aware.
Okay, so let's talk about what this looks like. If I'm a small business, I hire a new supplier, they're going to give me 50,000 dirhams worth of goods. What practically am I doing in those steps before I can reclaim the VAT?
Yeah, so we knew KYC already, right? This is know your vendors. Effectively, if you're contracting with somebody for the first time, and after that, every 12 months, you need to conduct a couple of checks. And those checks are quite extensive. And given the nature of the situation that you might get into, what I would expect is effectively we're going to see this across the board, that everybody is going to apply this, even if you are very far from what you think would be tax evasion. So you have a new vendor, you need to check if it's a natural person, their Emirates ID or passport, and you need to meet that person, whether in person or virtually. When it comes to a company, you need to verify their incorporation and also verify the identity of the person that you're dealing with, the authorized representative, and again, through Emirates ID or passport. That is just the verification of the person. You need to subsequently also verify their place of business as well, through a field visit. And it goes a bit further on to also try and verify whether the transactions in which you are engaging, whether those are, let's say it in simple terms, whether those are normal terms, i.e. is it not a much too high or too low price, for example? Is it in line with the market and whatnot? And that is particularly complex to do. And in addition to that, you need to document all of that policy and provide it to the FTA in the case of an audit. So it's quite extensive.
It is. And I'm not Nancy Drew. So what if I get it wrong? What if I meet someone for a coffee? I think, yeah, you're all right. I go and meet them outside their offices, but it turns out they're not there. Worst case scenario. How much am I on the hook for this?
So what would happen in that situation is the input VAT deduction would be denied already, right? That's the big kind of proportion. Subsequently, you'd get a penalty for deduction of the input VAT as well. I don't think if you ought to know that you are going to get the tax evasion penalties, I don't think it'll go that far. But effectively, I think the biggest stick here is the denial of the input VAT deduction. And obviously, any business buys a lot of products, goods and services from a variety of vendors. Now, there's a de minimis, which is 10,000 dirhams. But at the same time, that 10,000 is per supply. If you are buying from the same vendor in excess of 100,000 dirhams on an annual basis, then you also need to verify that vendor. There's maybe one more step also that I do want to highlight is when you do the vendor check and you buy from that vendor for more than 375,000 dirhams per year, you also need to verify their bank account as well.
Thomas, Rory here. Just zoom out for a minute. The big picture here is the Federal Tax Authority wants your average business to put their hand up and say, I think I may be in an arrangement with a company that isn't dealing honestly. That is correct, right? There's a new added responsibility on your average business to make sure that the chain is clean. Is that accurate?
There is a buyer beware obligation, which is additionally imposed on the buyers. Absolutely.
The FTA has given a sort of a long lead-up time for previous introduction of tax rules, mostly due to the complexity. This is quite the deadline on this is quite soon, though. I mean, is that a demonstration of how strictly they're taking this matter?
I think that it's a demonstration of how important they consider the issue to be, right? So effectively what is happening currently is under those two limbs, whether you are consciously and willingly involved in tax evasion, right? Those are the fictitious invoices and whatnot, practices that perhaps we've imported into the UAE from other jurisdictions. That's one side, and which is a fairly big issue or fairly important issue. The other one is indeed, the thinking is on the FTA side, after having studied the issue, is that there's multiple of these types of chains running through the UAE. And multiple examples already, the UAE has implemented this in 2018, but this is an issue that exists throughout the world. And indeed, very often what you see is these tax evasion or tax fraud or missing trader fraud chains, they organize themselves sometimes through a bona fide person. And then this bona fide person finds themselves buying goods at a substantially lower price than what should be the market rate, but is very happy with that lower price. But this really requires the buyer to think, am I really buying at market price or not? This is a famous example in Europe on gas stations that were organizing a VAT carousel, and they were selling their gas at substantially lower price. Consumers very happy and whatnot, but corporate customers actually should have identified, is what the tax authority said, that there was a too low price here.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thomas Van Hee of Orifa, our tax expert and lawyer, talking us through what will be the new checks that people need to make before submitting VAT tax deductions. We appreciate your time.
I'm Andrew Hosey. Dubai's real estate sector recorded strong growth in the first half of 2026, according to the Land Department. Elsewhere, the Arab League is among those condemning Israel's plans to build 1,200 new homes in the West Bank, and the United States says it will announce what it calls the toughest sanctions in history against Iran next week. For more on those stories, head to the ARN News Centre app.
More of the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 is coming up next.
Assessment, monitoring, management and security all in one intelligent platform. That's NetSecure 360 for business from eAnd. Learn more at eand.ae/NetSecure 360.
In the biggest year for cinema this decade.
One luxury cinema network owns every second of attention.
This September, your brand takes center stage.
With MPN Cinema Business Club at Roxy Cinemas.
The biggest movies.
The biggest screens. And the biggest results.
Don't let your business disappear on a mobile screen.
Appear on the big screen. 423 square meters of 4K laser.
Select your session at cinemarsvp.com.
Missed Shoba's 2080 plan? This exceptional offer returns from 20th to 23rd of August. Pay 20% during construction and 80% upon completion across Dubai and Al Quwain, including all Shoba Central units. Visit Shoba Heartland Sales Gallery, speak with an advisor, or connect with your broker. T's and C's apply.
The Score on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Give us an insight what it's like being part of UE Team Emirates XRG.
It's not easy for me. It's hard to believe it that I'm able to do it. Sometimes it's hard to believe it. I'm a young guy. I see these guys on TV. It's not hard to realize that every day I work for the team, and now they put me on the line to fight for the best races. On the training, I'm really criminal with the way that I work for. But when I put the jersey for the race and I go to the bus and I do the routine, I do with pleasure. At the same point, I asked the team, "Are you sure?" So I try to be realistic with this. I try to get used to it, and for sure I want to believe in myself that I am able to do it.
Join the conversation.
Weekday evenings from 7
on Dubai Eye 103.8.
What if school could fit your child's life, not the other way around? At Minerva Virtual Academy, students receive a world-class accredited British education through engaging live online lessons, expert teachers, and personalised one-to-one support. Whether your child is pursuing academic excellence, elite sport, performing arts, or simply needs greater flexibility at home, MVA helps every secondary-age learner reach their full potential. Search Join MVA today and discover learning without limits.
Enjoy banking built for your best life. With RackBank Everyday Banking, earn up to 6.25% per annum bonus interest on a new account and up to 4,000 dirhams on salary transfer. Buy gold, silver or crypto and even send money to over 175 countries straight from the app. Open your RackBank account digitally in minutes. Visit rackbank.ae. Terms and conditions apply.
navigate the highs and lows of life on Afternoons with Helen Farmer.
There is no denying that Dubai is an incredible place to raise children. We've got amazing hotels, holidays, brunches, deliveries, home help, all feels completely normal. So how do we raise grounded kids in a city where there's always something newer, bigger, better on display? Dr. Rita Figueredo, licensed psychologist, managing director of Peninsula Psychology, and crucially a mum.
I think this comes to us as parents mostly. We don't start the day with lesson number 5, let's learn today about gratitude. We don't do that, right? But they are experts in observing behavior. So they're always watching the way we treat people, whom we respect, the way we talk about money. How do we talk about other people's possessions, the house they have, the car they have.
Join the conversation on Dubai Eye 103.8, weekdays from 1 p.m.
Buying motor insurance online? The cheapest plan is not always the right one. It may cover third-party damage, but not your own vehicle. At Ernest Insurance Brokers, we help you understand what you're really covered for before you buy. Call 800-ERNEST today.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Sponsored by DP World. Finding a way to move your cargo every day. Visit dpworld.ae.
Welcome back, 8:36. Let's take a look at the business headlines.
Business headlines on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Dubai's real estate sector recorded strong growth in the first half, with 104 projects worth more than 100 billion dirhams being completed. Nearly 25,000 new units were delivered to the market.
UAE companies claiming VAT refunds will need to verify their suppliers in new rules coming into force from the 1st of October.
Uber has launched fully driverless cars with the Chinese ride-sharing company Baidu. You can now see Apollo Go taxis on the Dubai app. They are operating in Jumeirah and Sakim initially.
Sharjah-based Arada is developing a $1.36 billion with a B twin tower project on Australia's Gold Coast, with nearly 1,000 homes and the completion target before the 2032 Olympics.
Oil prices rose by more than 2% at the end of yesterday, reaching the highest levels in nearly a month. Brent gained 2.4% to settle at just under $94 a barrel on the back of that recent uncertainty in the market.
AI company Anthropic is preparing for a potential IPO with a public filing possible as soon as this month, and expects the offering could rival SpaceX's record listing.
Alibaba's quarterly revenue rose 9%, driven by a 45% jump in its AI and cloud business. But net profits fell as the company ramped up spending on AI infrastructure.
And finally, Japan's core inflation rose to 1.8% in July, adding to expectations that the Bank of Japan could raise interest rates again in September.
This is the Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.
So for our next segment, the celebrated British kids brand Hype has entered the Gulf market for the first time with a fashion-led school accessories targeting teenagers and tweens aged 8 to 12. They will be available across the region through retailers such as Lifestyle, Virgin Megastore, Mum's World, First Cry, 6th Street, Noon and Amazon, just in time for schools going back. I'm very happy to welcome to the studio with us Melazina Matuthi, Chief Operating Officer for Hype in the Middle East and North Africa. Welcome, Melazina. What are young people spending their money on these days?
Thank you for having me. So usually young people choose the design and parents pay for it.
That's a good arrangement.
Yes, they are out of the phase where they choose whatever they buy whatever the mom buys, they wear whatever the mom buys, and they want to choose it, and the parent still pays for it.
You're entering the market at what has been a difficult time for the Gulf. You're obviously committed to be here. This is a major commercial capital. What has it been like getting products into stores in the last couple of weeks and months? Have you had any sort of difficulty shipping?
Definitely, this is a very tough period for the market, for a lot of brands, for retailers. Fortunately, we had stock received a few months before the conflict started, so we were one of the few that already had stock, so we didn't struggle with this.
Now, you haven't launched your own stores. You're in other physical stores. What's the advantage with that keeps costs down for a brand like yours?
So we enter the market with a partner, with a distributor partner. That gives us space and time to focus on consumer and on brand, actually, while they do the distribution, because they know they're in the market for a long time. And it's not just a UAE launch, it's a GCC, where they have the whole retail network.
Where have the stores opened so far? Or where are your products at the moment? Which cities?
We have in UAE, KSA, Oman, Kuwait, Qatar, in the region.
Melazina, morning.
Morning.
You told me about what this tweeners is. So that's kids, not teenagers, not kids between the ages of 7 to 12, right?
Yes, so they're out of the babyish phase.
Yeah.
And they're not teenagers yet, and they just start to build their personality.
Yeah.
So that's, we call them twins.
Okay, I've got two girls who are definitely building their personalities, let's put it that way. I love you very much, kids. But what is popular now compared to what was popular as last year is the bane of my life. How do you build up loyalty, though, with your brand, what you're building? What was cool last year, which was Action Man and Barbie, apparently, for Dad Knows Nothing, compared to what's popular now? Like, how do you move so quickly?
So previously, let's say in previous years, it was very not popular, but it was normal to get a school bag. Now, in the previous years, there were a lot of trends, Barbie, Bluey, and so on. So we don't design based on trends. We design with having the kid in mind. What would they like? How would this express their personality? How would they choose it? Why would they choose it? So that's why we have a wide range of patterns, actually. We don't just have one product in 5 colors.
So how do you do that practically then? How do you do it? Like you partner with more or less everyone, it looks like, in the retail section here. Lifestyle, Virgin, Rory was saying, and Amazon, of course. So how do you say, let's say, and Lily, if you're listening, this isn't going to happen, but she probably is listening, hopefully. If I said, here's 100 dirhams because you've got school coming up, how do you go into hype? What happens next? Like, you go online, you order stuff, how does it work?
So you can order online, obviously, on our website and on all the other retail partners. And they can choose whatever they feel that they like, actually, For the parent, it's important to be
responsible.
Yeah. To last past November, let's say. Okay. And if that meets that criteria, the parent is happy, actually.
Melazina, we had the team on from Beauty World a week or two ago, and they are behind one of the first big exhibitions that coming up here post-summer at the Trade Centre. They were talking about just how big the perfume industry is. Is the age that you sell to young people, are they interested in perfume at that age?
Absolutely. We go in stores here, like cosmetic stores and so on, and you'll see more twins than millennials, actually. And they know much better what they want. They are more aware. They keep up with the trends, basically, social media and so on. And that's why I think more twins are in Sephora than millennials.
Yeah, I'm pleased you said that, because that I struggle my way through that shop, but it's a good shop. I get it, but it's almost like you've identified a new part of the industry here. And like Rory was saying, you got Beauty World and what's coming up in October. That's going to be one of the first events we're going to see in Dubai World Central. But when I was a kid, if someone said to me at the age of 10, you can go and buy I wouldn't buy perfume, but aftershave, whatever it might be, I always stole my dad's. Is this just the way that sort of modern society is now, that things are just a lot more accessible to a younger audience? Or is this always been a kind of part of the industry that you've always looked at?
I think it's a bit of both, but I think it's more accessible to this specific age group. And I feel like lately nobody targeted that specific age. It was not really acknowledged, let's say. But lately, because of social media, because people have access to international brands, they travel and so on, I think it's more prominent, because now we define that age age group.
This age group, 8 till 12. So your prices start from 55 dirhams, and that would be for cosmetics or other things. But what kind of, how much are people this age spending on whether it's beauty products or fashion products? Do you have an average spend or something like that?
So average spend, I mean, we just launched, so we're still building that, we are understanding and so on. But we sell in sets. So basically we sell a backpack, a lunch bag, a pencil case. So that's the average that a parent buys or a kid chooses because they have everything in one.
Got it. A lot of parents are navigating with higher costs back to school. Probably this weekend, they're thinking, how many shirts are we need, how many T-shirts, how many pencil cases and kits. What do you do to try and keep costs under control at this time? At a time of inflation, we were talking about Dubai inflation figures yesterday.
So first, when we keep in mind the cost and how much, because obviously the cost influence the retail price, the selling price, we know for sure that our customers and the parents, they are well aware about how to spend and what its value actually. So when they choose to buy something from us which is in line with what the child wants and lasts more than the first month, that's actually value rather than spending every other month because the kids doesn't like it and so on.
Excellent. Malazina Mahuthi, Chief Operating Officer for Hype, the British children's brand, which has just launched in the Gulf and which is available in Virgin Megastore, Mum's World, First Cry, 6th Street, Noon and Amazon. Thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Quite a bit of disruption on the roads this morning in isolated areas. That double crash on the E611 Emirates Road behind Arabian Ranches 2 that hasn't cleared yet. The earlier